Good afternoon from the Superbook.com sports desk. I'm Joe Hunk. As we all try to get going on this Monday after a late night of Sunday night football, just know the Colts have fired their offensive coordinator. Their head coach that also happened to be the real offensive coordinator, Frank Reich, as he finishes his career as the Colts head coach. 40 wins, 33 losses, and 1 tie in the regular season. The Colts have named Jeff Saturday as their interim head coach. Jeff Saturday has been a consultant for the Colts, and apparently he also was coaching a high school football team at some point last year. Tonight, college basketball gets started as number 11 Tennessee hosts Tennessee Tech at 6 p.m. You can watch that game on ESPN Plus, and Vanderbilt is hosting Memphis at 7 o'clock, also on ESPN Plus. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL is on the air. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Get ready, because it's about to get dark. See, this is where I am, Don Davenport. Like, all the stuff that happened over the weekend, and this is what I'm worried about.
That's Buck. Come on, man. Where's your positivity?
Here's the funny thing. Like, I was telling somebody today, like, I'm a really positive person, and there's a line in the movie Clue where Mrs. White said about her dead husband that she may or may not have killed. She said, well, he was always a stupidly optimistic man. And I always, like, kind of took that in to mean, you know, me. Like, that's what I am. But, like, I'm telling you, and I'm always like, don't let your circumstances affect what you think are in the moment. But, man, when it gets dark at 4:45.
I know. I know.
I mean, just.
Come on, Yoro.
Hey, Ronsley!
What's happening?
What up?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Hunk's on it today, man.
I see. Hey, Babsy.
All right, for all that,
I got new jugs.
Look at Babsy's headphones.
Wait, what?
I was going to say, so guess what I was about
Sorry,
to say.
I got new headphones.
Okay.
Like Gordon, like Red B says, cans.
Yeah, cans. They're called cans.
No,
I don't know.
look at Babsy. Them are cold-blooded. Where you get them from?
You like that? Amazon.
I was like, man,
Hey.
you got new jugs. Harder than you can tell me.
And that's so you, Babsy. That, like the little pink.
They're like
I'm surprised
baby
you ain't
pink.
put the you like the
like
you do Baby Bab stuff. The,
bedazzle them?
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
I'll do that. Yeah, in my spare time.
You have a bedazzle pen, I guarantee you.
No, I do it by hand with tweezers.
What?
I did Baby Bab's
Detailed,
Star
baby.
Wars belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you use, like hot wax?
No, there's a special glue.
Special glue.
I think, you know what? After football season, I'll bedazzle them.
That's
Listen.
all you missing, Babsy. That's so you.
For some reason in the YouTube feed, I'm watching Blaine and Mickey, which is great. I mean, they're both attractive men, you know, like I can watch them, but
No.
where is 3HL?
Not
is
in
my
mine.
question.
I mean, not saying they. I mean, I'm just saying.
They're not attractive men?
No, I'm talking about.
Do you have an announcement to make? Blaine and Mickey are not attractive men?
No.
You know they're listening
I'm doing my
on
dogs
their
like
way
that, man.
home.
I'm my boys. I'm my boys.
Hey, now, I'm going to tell you, Blaine was on point today.
No. Blaine could have. Mickey could have threw the ball up and walked off the court
Yeah.
and went back in the locker room.
Like Jerry
Blaine
Green.
was like, let me
Dude.
just dunk on everything right now.
He was on fire.
I didn't hear him, but I was actually thinking about that during the
Yep.
game, like what the defensive players were thinking when
Yep.
that offense continued to just walk back to the sideline.
Hey, man.
No, one first down in the second half.
Yes.
Mickey said it was one first down all the way back to like the 5-minute mark of the first half.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. I mean, that Kansas City's first drive took it however long. I mean,
Yep.
forever. Like there were no. So I started the game later so I could fast forward through commercial
Oh,
breaks,
right.
like put baby
Okay.
back, which is why
Okay.
I didn't text any of y'all during
People
the
give
game.
me crap about going dark.
Yes,
We
so
had
I
a
went
basketball
dark.
event on Saturday, and I loved it. It was awesome to see the kids out there running around again. But we got home a little bit late, and I DVR'd it, and I told all my kids to turn their phones off.
Yeah. Don't talk to me.
And Slay
Don't
didn't think
text me.
that was possible because like there might be emergencies and
Yeah, somebody got in touch with the dog.
I mean, I started like the real live game was, in the second quarter when I started it. So it's not like I went totally dark, but I put my phone away so that I wouldn't get you fools texts during the Titans game and started late. But yeah, it took me forever to catch up because Kansas City, that first possession was long. But man, that Titan.
Yeah.
it was long and strong.
Yeah.
I don't,
Titans defense.
I don't know that we even texted during the game much, did we?
I don't think so. I looked
no.
back. I looked back later, and there wasn't a ton. So.
No, 3:17 p.m. to 10:56 p.m. What were we doing?
Locked in.
Did we just
Locked
suddenly
in.
hate each other?
We
all of a
let
sudden?
everybody go dog. Everybody went dog.
See, that's what happens when I don't start things.
When
I'm not
Chiefs
like, who
possession
the
to start
hell
the
is
game
this
lasted
guy?
8 minutes and 13 seconds.
You
Yeah,
do look
8 minutes.
I like the pink headphones.
I'm telling you.
You'd look like if the guy in Star Wars that
Thank you,
launched like the Death Star, like
Was a girl.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure how I should take
You know,
that.
in Star Wars, he like pulls that lever and it goes, boo, like that. And then like this big ray of light shines and then blows up the entire galaxy. Like you look like that person.
I'm about to blow up the entire galaxy.
Yeah, we got tons to get to.
Football
Titans with a 20-17 loss in overtime. Would it have been better on Titans fans to just go ahead and lose by 3 touchdowns like everybody thought?
No. No.
Because it's funny, like I've talked to several people today that were like, man, it was funny going into that game. I just knew we were going to lose, by multiple scores.
It's
But
a
then
14-point spread.
But then they're like leading and stuff. And then in the second half, I've started to question play calls and decisions and all these things. And now I'm just pissed.
Yep.
I'm like, well, I mean, they're 5-3. They're one game off the lead in the AFC. Going through everything that they're going through. Malik Willis has started 2 games now.
Mm-hmm. And they're 1-1 in those games.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Should have started another one.
They won the one. They won the one that mattered.
Yeah, just ask
Without
Big,
question.
Just
Which
ask
is
Big
the
Jeff if Malik's going to start
AFC
next
South
week.
game. What's up with that?
Here's what's up with that. And Slay, before you get
Okay,
into it.
maybe some people haven't heard it though.
Okay, so Chris Jones, do you have this cut? Chris Jones talking to Kansas City. Okay, he was talking about how he had talked to Big Jeff earlier in the week and that they knew Malik was going to start. And I'm like, okay, players all over the league and whatever sport you want to think about and your favorite team and your favorite players all talk about that stuff because they're friends and they go way back and all of these things and they just do. Now, Chris Jones broke the man code though. You don't bring that
You
up
don't
to
talk
the
about
media.
it.
No, you don't talk about what happens at Fight Club. You don't.
That's right.
And he did.
He said Ryan Tannehill was in a boot all week. I talked to Jeffrey Simmons.
Slay, what do you think?
You
We
don't
lean on you for this
You
one.
don't say it, but I have been guilty of this before.
But why and how? Just like
Because when
just in a general conversation and you don't think about it.
if you
and
get
let
that
it
guy,
slip?
if you get that guy with the personality of a Chris Jones,
Yeah.
he would be a media darling here. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
In my situation, I just tore my ACL. We were getting ready to play Kentucky, and we had him at Thompson Bowling. I went up to the room and played spades with Kentucky before the game. So I'm about
Kentucky?
yeah, it was but like you say, I like when it's time to go to war, that's Kentucky. But I got respect for them, and they're my guys. You know what I mean? I had my former teammates from high school on the team, so I'm up there playing spades.
You've known
and
them for a long time.
Yeah, I'm up there rapping with them. You know what I mean? And I went back and told them. I went back and told Vince everything they planned on doing. Like, dog, ain't no respect. Like, they're up there playing spades with me, talking crazy, this, that, and the other. I know exactly what's gonna go on. I know who they got Saul guarding, everything. And Tennessee ended up beating. And when I was questioned about it, I was like, yeah, man, I was over playing spades with them. You know what I mean? I kind of poked the bear a little bit and figured out things. But I wasn't saying it like I was giving something away. It's just what it is. This situation, that's tough. You
That's
can't
tough.
get tricked into telling either,
But
though.
see, but
that's
this
my
is
thing.
the other thing too. I mean, who knows if that's what he was just telling him
Yep.
And then Ryan Tannehill shows up, and
Yep.
then they've spent time preparing for
From
you know.
the- yep.
So you never know, but still, like,
Yeah, I
don't
feel
talk
exactly.
about it after the game.
I feel that. I feel it. I would be hot about it. But my thing is too, you can't get tricked into it the week of that you're playing the team.
Right.
You can't give info up. You
Well,
can't.
what's funny about that quote is like, oh, we knew Malik, we prepared all this stuff. Like, well, the Titans ran the ball on your ass in the first half.
Right.
Yeah.
They made adjustments at halftime
Yep.
and totally shut it down.
I mean, the let's say the first 10 plays are scripted, right? Titans offense looked pretty damn
Yes, they
good
did.
then.
It's like what happens to the script.
And then what happened?
Start freestyling. It's the problem.
Freestyling's a problem.
Yeah, in this case, without question.
Yeah.
So this is my thing. The thing that's scary to me, when you start to have little things like this happen, and throughout the show, you got different things. You pointed something out with Malik saying. Then you got Big Jeff, and then my thing is you got
And then
body
you got
language.
Vrabel.
You got Vrabel. You got body language that's being taken place here. In basketball, it's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
I can go around and I can put it on myself. Hey, y'all, I remember I had a rough start. I got us, dog. That's my fault. I'm gonna pick it up. Football, you move as units, and it's almost like even though you're a team out there, it's offense, special teams, defense. The defense looking at it like, hey man, the defense, man, we went out there, played our heart out, dog. You drive and Blaine hit it on the head. When you in film study and then you leave film and you go out there for your break and the offense leaving because they were on the field, they was only on the field for 48 plays or whatever it was, they film section smaller. You got 91 plays to go after. It's like, dude, what y'all leaving for? Y'all need to be working on something. Yeah, matter of fact, y'all might need to come in here with us.
Yeah, so when Kevin Byard mentions the fact that they were on the field for like 100 plays, that's what he's talking about.
Dude, that's different.
Hey, man.
As much as
Y'all
you're
do
your
your
team,
job. I don't care who's out there.
psychologically, dude, at some point, it's like, hey, dog, hey, come on, man. Hey, come on.
You got to help us out.
Enough, man. Y'all got to help us.
Complimentary football.
Hey,
Complimentary football.
watch that body language.
We
I'm
get a
telling you,
takeaway, go make them pay for
You
it.
have to.
Go make them pay. And here's the other thing I worry about. And this is, with Malik's comments after the game, with what Ed Werder tweeted out about Vrabel. Are we going to start seeing some division on this offense? Because there's a whole lot of calling out the wide receiving core for nobody being open.
Y'all gonna keep on saying my name.
Here's what Ed Werder tweeted out, and he did it during the game. He said, ask Mike Vrabel's sustainability of Derrick Henry taking 26-plus carries every game. Quote, we've been able to use him, and he's helped us win a lot of games since I've been here. He said, I don't know what else we would do. Throw it 50 times? I mean, who the bleep would we throw it to?
Dude, that's
Your reaction. Titans lose 2017. They're 5-3, 615-737-1045. Also, Georgia shows Tennessee what it's like to play on that elite stage. We'll talk about that. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Oh, I've got the perfect gift for you. Holidays coming up. You need organization in your life. Give the gift of organization this holiday season with Artisan Custom Closets. They have gift cards of any size, or you can just actually give the gift of a show-stopping closet, or maybe a functional, beautiful office space, a decluttered garage. Who says you can't buy something for yourself? Maybe you just want to, get a nice, beautiful, wonderful closet for yourself. Artisan Custom Closets is offering some great financing options right now, so you can give yourself the gift of organization for the holidays. Here's the deal. They've got a showroom. It's open. Or you can go online or call to make an appointment, or you can just have your own design consultant, Danielle, come out to your house and go through everything and personalize your space to fit your needs. So, for instance, I had them do my garage. And so Danielle came out and said, what do you want to keep in this garage? What do you want an actual place for? Where do you want extra storage? She designed it all. She gave me my 3D plans, laid out all my options and costs. Her layout was a little over my budget, so I took away some things, added some other things. She got it right into my budget, and it is beautiful, gorgeous, and amazing. Installation, 1 day, actually less than a day. Artisan Custom Closets makes it easy for you to say less to the mess. So give them a call. Tell them Dawn sent you, and they'll give you 10% off for the holidays. 615-800-2199. 615-800-2199. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
Smoky Mountain Tops, Mike McGrady and my guys down there are awesome people, and they do great work, and we've utilized them several times in several houses. And the reason, just to kind of freshen everything up, and honestly, like, countertops make such a big difference in your home that you feel like you're in a new home. And you can get it done simply by checking them out, SmokyMountainTops.com. They've got the workspace out back of the showroom, so you can check them out. And the communication is great. They'll come measure. They'll talk with you about the product. You'll see the product. You'll choose the product. They'll put it in, and it'll be seamless. The heart of the home is the kitchen, and a beautiful kitchen means countertops by Smoky Mountain Tops. Family-owned and operated Smoky Mountain Tops, offering the finest services available, including handcrafted and gorgeous Vidara quartz. Vidara quartz is durable and perfect for busy lifestyles. Quality service dedication, SmokyMountainTops.com. When it came time for us to update our home's countertops several times, we called Smoky Mountain Tops. You need to do that as well. Go see the pros at Smoky Mountain Tops to help create that dream space. SmokyMountainTops.com. 3HL 1045, this home Prince Don Davenport, Ron Slay, produced by Joe Hunk. Appreciate you being with us. A lot to work through today on a Monday afternoon in the Music City. What did you get done in your extra hour yesterday?
Oh, great sleep.
Do you know what I got done?
What about
Y'all know I had a Friday game this week.
Yep.
We
Yes, you
put
did.
up our Christmas decorations.
Before Thanksgiving, Babsy?
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Mr. Babs was like,
This happens every year, Slay. I don't
what
know.
do you want to do?
You don't remember this last year?
No.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, yeah.
this is, she always does this, and then this is what I say. Our Christmas lights got put up on the outside of our house yesterday.
Yes.
What, yo?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
But he doesn't do it. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah.
Oh, no. We
Have somebody go
look
there,
like
yeah.
Griswold, man.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah. No, Mr. Babs does our Christmas lights outside.
Oh, good for him.
But
I'll
he
pay
has
him next
not. Yeah, he has not done that.
Your new jugs and all.
Yes, exactly. But he asked me, he was like, you actually have a weekend. You know, obviously Saturday we'll watch football all day, but Titans don't play late till Sunday. So what do you want to get done? What do you want to do? I'm like, Christmas decorations. Here we go.
Listen, man, I did enjoy the fact that the Titans played at 7:20.
I
really
loved
did
that.
enjoy. I felt like we got
I
a
watched
lot
the
done.
Red
Yep.
Zone all day
Yep.
while putting up Christmas decorations. It's great.
He was able to have a life a little bit.
Yeah.
Red Zone channel, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
for like ADHD people, I mean, it's
Phenomenal.
I've never done crack, but that's what I imagine crack to be like. Look, touchdown. Look, touchdown. Interception.
Like
touchdown.
Beavis on Beavis and
Beavis and
Butthead.
Butthead, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Hey, man.
Wow.
I used to love that show, but
You
no,
were sitting
that's
up in your
the
dorm
end of it.
room up there
No,
watching.
I was sitting at home in high school.
Yeah,
I was a
that's
young
high
buck.
school.
Yeah, young buck.
My parents would be like, you're not allowed to
Yeah,
watch that
exactly.
garbage.
For those wondering, you can watch the show live if you'd rather do it that way. If you're sitting around the house not doing anything, you can put it on a computer screen or your television or whatever you want to do. And you can do it on Twitter, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
And you will see, despite Tennessee's loss to Georgia,
Yeah.
27-13, that Slay Dog has his Vols t-shirt on.
Yes.
I
And
really
he
wa- I-
is
let me-
ready to take your calls.
Let me just go ahead and tell you how much I want to iron that shirt right now.
Yeah, I know it's bothering you.
It's a sickness for me, but
That's cool.
I also have my Tennessee shirt on.
Where did I even get this shirt from today?
On the
I
top
grabbed
of
this in the
mountain
bottom
top.
of the drawer.
Yeah, I can see that.
Look, I'm ironing it.
Quick take on the Georgia-Tennessee thing. If you're looking for us to make excuses about Tennessee and they didn't play well or they had too many penalties or they controlled losing or whatever that – no, Georgia beat their ass.
Yeah.
Georgia beat their ass.
Yep.
They know what they're doing. They've been there before. They were like, okay, young bucks, you think you're ready for this?
Yep. This is
Let us just show you what this elite stage looks like, and Tennessee did not deal with it.
How about Stetson Bennett?
show up.
How about that dude?
Is
You know
there
what?
any more
He-
frustrating of a player for opposing fan bases than that guy, maybe like in the history of ever? Because like
Because
you look
of
at
what
him,
he does?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you just look at like we saw him at media days. You look at that dude and you're like, hey man,
He should be one of us working in the media.
there's no way that guy's an SEC quarterback.
Yeah.
That's
I
just
know.
a national championship winner.
Yeah.
You know what? He doesn't get enough credit.
No, he
like
doesn't.
watching him during that game, he does not. His
He just
throws
slices your neck off.
on the money. He does not
He
get
put some
enough
balls
credit.
on the money.
Yes, he
Look,
did.
like, yeah, this is all I got. This is the hat, and for the people that's in the
Oh,
car,
you got the trucker hat.
yeah, it's nothing but a hat tip. I mean, that's all. Like, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing I can say. It ain't no excuse to be made. If I do, excuses are tools of incompetence, and we will not do that on this. Right? I'm telling you. So
No, we'll give
bring my
reasons,
crow,
but not excuses.
Yeah, bring
Yeah.
my crow. You know what I mean? Set it up here. Barbecue sauce on it. That's all I ask. Don't make me eat it. You know what I mean? Uncooked or anything. Cook it for me. Fry it for me. Put a little sauce on it, and I'm eating it up.
I wonder what krill would
it is.
taste like. Like, should we actually do that? Can
Come
we
on
find?
now, you know
number
that-
one, you can't find dead
You
birds.
know the
Like, they're
answer
not-
to that, yo.
That's right.
Chicken. Everything that's not
Everything.
chicken tastes like chicken and it's fried. Come on now. You know that.
Just fry it, put some barbecue
Yeah,
sauce
that's
on it,
it,
it'd be
man.
all right.
But hey, dude, this is the first game, and we'll get into it for sure tomorrow. This is the first game I watched and walked away from it and thought physicality.
Yeah.
yeah.
Physicality, number one. Number two, Kirby deserves a lot of credit for coming up
Without
with a game
question.
plan that confused the crap out of Tennessee. Hendon Hooker and Josh Heupel.
Yep.
Whatever you want to say there. number 3, they knew what they were doing. They know who they are, and they were very confident, and they did what they do. I mean, 10 sacks coming in, and you get 6 against the nation's number 1 offense.
And you know what?
You wanted it, baby.
Go ahead.
They had a chip on their shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
And
Did you hear Kirby in his post game?
Without question.
Were you there? You might have been there. No, you watched on TV. So if you listened to Kirby in his post game, you could tell there is a massive chip on their shoulder that they weren't number 1. This was like Kirby played into that. Hey, nobody's talking about you guys. They're all talking about this team in orange, and this is your chance to shut them up. And that's exactly how they played that ball game.
Now, the beautiful part about that is, and we talked about it going in, that like people were talking about elimination game. I think I heard them talk about that on game day. It was not. And that was a testament to those two programs this year to put themselves in a position where it wasn't an elimination game. And then LSU does what they did on Saturday night.
And eliminated Alabama.
Yeah, Tennessee.
They done.
I think Tennessee, if they win out, they're in.
Yeah.
Now, there are weird things that can happen.
Helped
Notre Dame beat Clemson.
Because Notre Dame beat Clemson. So now you don't have to worry about an ACC unbeaten.
Texas got TCU this weekend. Michigan still got to play Ohio State.
Listen, Tennessee's going to be sitting, and we talked about this last week. Tennessee's going to be sitting there without having to absorb a loss in the SEC championship game, and they're going to be 11-1, having beaten 5 top 25 teams at the time they played them and 2 top 10 teams, and their only loss would be at number 1 Georgia.
Yeah. That's an argument
Give me a better
to get
resume.
And
TCU undefeated, not a better
no
resume. Oregon with 1 loss, Pac-12 champion, not a better resume.
Facts.
So anyway, we will talk a lot about that this week.
How bad does Brian Kelly want that FSU game back at the beginning of the year, huh?
Oh, because he had it. He had it in his grasp. One thing about the Georgia-Tennessee game, I got to tip my cap. Hey, man, Georgia fans, y'all showed up.
No question.
Hey, man, like kneeling is different.
This is why people
y'all there.
People that want to attack SEC guy because they get tired of hearing all the SEC stuff, watch that.
Man.
Watch that environment.
Ooh, in the rain, it started raining. They got even more rowdy.
Watch LSU, Alabama.
Dog,
watch these environments because it does just mean more.
I think is it Stedman Coliseum? Is that the name of the Georgia Bulldogs Stadium? I hope I'm saying it right.
Sanford Stadium.
I'm sorry.
Stedman Coliseum is basketball.
My bad. Yeah, my bad. Y'all basketball starts today. Got that on the brain. This is what I'm telling you, though.
Memphis in town.
Yeah, playing Vandy.
Playing Vandy, yeah.
Yep, I almost called them Camden. They not. They Vandy right now. Man, shout out to y'all, dude. That environment was it was so loud on the TV. That was amazing, man. Man, salute to that SEC fan base. Them, man, like you said, LSU. Big salute, man. Salute.
Yep.
That's what I like.
Now you've got Ole Miss, Alabama next week. Just quick update there.
Do in the Grove.
Bama, a 12-point favorite at Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Ole Miss win that one. Now, if you're a Tennessee fan, you probably want to put L's on these teams with 1 losses, but
and we giving flowers, and there's more to give flowers in that game, but we just had to get that in, man. I'll be talking about the Titans today, though, because I wanted to touch on Jalen Carter, but that's a whole other conversation.
We can hop in just to wrap up the Bama conversation, though. I am so fascinated to see how that team responds because this is the first time any player on that team has ever been out
you
of the
eliminated
college football playoff in November.
What you playing for now, Babsy?
Yeah, nothing. Pride. And so I want to see how they respond. All of those players and Nick Saban, too. I want to see that response because they're done.
I think they'll respond well.
Do you hear murmurs, though, about them? Because this is what you got to deal with in SEC fan bases.
I told y'all a long time ago that Nick Saban's acting weird.
No, I'm not even saying that, y'all. I'm saying, do you start to hear murmurs?
Off. I mean, the players feed off the coach.
About guys going in the transfer portal.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you ain't got nothing to play for no more, you start reaching out to your teammates, your partners. Hey, man, what y'all doing over there? What you mean? You got 2 games to play left.
Yeah. So Bama at 7-2. They're at Ole Miss, then Austin Peay, then Auburn. LSU at Arkansas, who lost to Liberty this weekend. Hugh Freeze trying to get that Auburn job.
Come on.
LSU plays UAB and
Loveliest
then at
village
Texas
on
A&M.
the plains, Hugh.
Cadillac and them showed up.
Man, y'all.
He was so much fun to watch.
I am
Wasn't he,
so
man?
proud to be an Auburn Tiger watching Cadillac in that game.
Babs, you talk about
you want to talk about the
conversation.
energy?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Love for that school.
I'm just saying.
What he pulled out of those players. Go ahead.
Keep your eye. And I wasn't aboard with this, but after watching Cadillac, Primetime don't seem bad now. Primetime, Coach Prime don't seem bad now. If they ready for that, because it's a different type of style coming with a younger guy, a black guy at Auburn. It's a different part of the culture coming now. I'm just saying. I didn't think Auburn was ready, but the way they embraced Cadillac and watching the fans.
Yeah, but
Babs, I don't know.
I think Auburn
Cadillac is Auburn, though.
I understand that. I understand that without question. It means something more, but I do think.
But to your point, Auburn would win with Dion, I think. They'll win with Hugh Freeze. They'll win with Lane Kiffin. Hire anybody else.
You know what I have you know what my issue is with Dion?
Man.
Like, he's not humble. I just think there would be so many
I think
issues
you say that on the
with
surface.
the crap that he will have to do there
Yeah,
that he doesn't want to do.
it's
It's
bad
more
at
than
Auburn.
just being a
understand.
ball coach.
But don't you think it's past that, though? That you need to get it past, like.
of the head coach having to do that kind of
yeah,
stuff?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
No.
I don't.
Because they need the
I
money.
really don't.
They need the money.
I don't think you could.
They might need to deal with it even more now.
I really
Honestly.
do think so.
And
Like
man.
your big time money people that want to be like, oh, I hung
Gotta
out
go in
with
there
the
and rub their
Auburn
back,
coach.
yeah.
Is
mean,
Dion gonna want?
golly.
Is Prime gonna want to do all that?
From doing what we do, too.
I don't think with all of them.
Could you imagine if Prime got that job and it didn't go well, the things that he would be saying publicly?
And that's why
I'd be
you
all
question
here
if
for
him
that.
and Lane would actually take that job.
Yeah,
because
Lane, too.
Lane's already throwing the fan base under the bus in Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Think about the
that's
crap that
true.
goes on at Auburn.
Oof.
615-737-1045.
This
Punctured
hire
Long,
is so important.
Punctured Long Tony first up today on 3HL. What's up, PLT?
What's up, fellas? Everybody all right?
Yeah, what's
great.
happening, baby?
Ron, question.
Talk to me.
Was you at Tennessee when Eric Ames was quarterbacking there? You were somewhere close in that era,
Yeah,
wasn't
I was, I've always been around the program, but I was gone as far as a player. I was gone after Casey Clausen.
you? Okay. Maybe you all will remember this. You're talking about,
Yeah, he was 04,
players-
right? He was 04
Players-
freshman, yeah.
yeah, players on the team calling out other players. Tennessee was playing LSU at LSU. And if they win, they go to the SEC championship. And they had a knockdown, drag-out defense in Tennessee at that particular time, and had a really superstar middle linebacker. I forget the kid's name.
Kevin Burnett
But
was on
anyway-
that group too.
Right.
Kevin Simon,
But
maybe?
then
Casey Simon was there too.
they had to get the ball back, and I mean it was a tight game. And the defense got the ball back for them. Plenty of time on the clock. They drove the ball down. I think they got down to around the LSU 40 or 30-yard line. And Eric Ames dropped back, and I don't know what he was looking at. He threw the ball right to the LSU, and it wasn't no Tennessee receiver around nowhere. Then after the game, the reporter went into Tennessee's locker room and went up to that linebacker. I can't think of the kid's name. And he looked up at the reporter and said, look, I can't talk to you right now. He said, I don't feel like talking to you right now. He said, all I know is some people can't make the play. And I can't believe that Phil Fulmer stepped right into this mess. And Phil Fulmer jumped right in there and said, we're not going to put this all on Eric Ames. He didn't call nobody's name. He just said some people can't make a play. So a lot of times, man, these players on these teams, I understand, they get frustrated. And they want to say things. Most of the time, they hold it to themselves. They might get in the locker room, maybe even get into fighting with one another because what's one another do, but you don't hear nothing about it. But now, as far as Tennessee and Georgia, the numbers just didn't stack up for Tennessee. It really didn't.
Yep.
Because if you went back and really examined it and use Alabama as the measuring stick, Alabama came in there, man. If you took all of their wide receivers and put them in a mixer, you wouldn't be able to come out with one good wide receiver.
Well, I mean, Tony, thank you for the call. Appreciate that little rundown memory lane.
And Ramon was on that team.
LSU that I can't even remember.
Ramon was on that team. He just texted me and said that was 05 that he's talking about if he's talking about the last minute score.
Yeah.
But they
What was I gonna say?
they won down there, so I ain't sure.
Completely lost my
Sorry about
train.
that,
No, you're good.
Talking about the wide receivers.
No, I mean, if you want to play like this team against this team, and this team looks like this, and this team played this team, and
It's difficult to do.
it is because watch, Tennessee is going to blast Missouri on Saturday. They are going to blast them. Did Georgia? No.
Right.
Does that mean that you can't read anything into that? Like from playing games, like every game is different.
Yep.
It's like a different chapter in a book.
Yep.
And their matchups are different, and they work out differently. Georgia came in with the mindset that they were going to put it on Tennessee physically, and they did.
Yep.
And they did it with their cornerbacks. They did it with their front seven, and they did it with their offensive line.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's where it all started. So Hendon Hooker didn't know what he was looking at from time to time. I think also with some coverages that Kirby came up with. But also their corners just said, you know what? We're just going to – we understand. We understand that these wide receivers are good, and we're going to take that challenge.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and to Tony, your call, I don't know, we're going to go back and fact check that one, but I understand what you're talking about. Mo just said it was Kevin Simon and Kevin Burnett.
Yeah, but in that game, it was Jonathan Crompton who was the quarterback. Eric Gaines did play, but didn't throw an interception.
Yeah. So you got to see. It's difficult to do that, man. That's the good thing about basketball. You always get a revenge game, especially in conference. You know what I'm saying? Like when LSU dog-walked UT last year, I knew they were going to beat them. Like when Kentucky dog-walked them up there at Rupp, you knew they was going to beat them. It's hard in football, man.
That LSU game, speaking of basketball real quick, just a quick aside, we talked about it in the moment. That was a test for Tennessee because it was the same thing.
You got pumped.
LSU just came out here and said, all right, we hear about how good you are. We're going to hit you right in the mouth. What are you going to do about it? And Tennessee backed down in that game.
Yep.
Now, the football team I don't think did, but I think that they'll use that experience to be better.
Yeah, they didn't back down because you look at the second half, they came out and continued playing. They
could have gotten that backdoor cover at the end.
Yeah, true too.
Always looking for that. More of your phone calls when we come back, talking through the Titans 2017 overtime loss and also Georgia beating Tennessee 27-13. 615-737-1045.
Need cash for the holidays or to pay off credit cards? Go to Loan Pronto. They have their all-new Express Equity Line of Credit program. It's just what you need. LoanPronto.com if you want to find out about it. This is why that's great. You can keep your low mortgage rate. You can still get cash out, so you don't have to do a full home refi. Express Equity Credit Line, that is what Loan Pronto can help you do. You can close in 7 to 10 days, and a $50,000 loan will only cost you around $300 a month. Let me tell you about Loan Pronto in general. I actually used them to refinance my home. Roger Moore, the owner, looked at how it goes and said, you know what? You don't want to be buried in paperwork. There has to be a better way. And so he developed this quicker process, Loan Pronto. You can go to loanpronto.com and do a bunch of it online already. And the best part is his ability to get you, the consumer, low rates. Do it now before the holidays. If you want to check in on their Express Equity Credit Line, call them 615-499-5780. Loanpronto.com is the website, 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
What's up, good people? Ron Slayer, man. Let's get to it. The best barbecue for your buck. Who you gonna go to? Oh, maybe I should say, who you gonna call? Nah. It's Famous Dave's. Yep, that's right. 3 locations for you to hit to: 5000 Old Hickory Boulevard in Hermitage, 991 Industrial Boulevard in Smyrna, 1864 West McEwen Drive in Franklin, which is a to-go and delivery only. Now, you can always tap in and get them to bring it to you, but you want to get the best barbecue for your buck, man. You don't want to miss out on Famous Dave's. They come correct. Always do. Make your meal even more famous with happy hour specials if you're going in there to check them out from 3 to 6, Monday through Friday for discounts on fried pickles, cheese curds, and more appetizers. Famous Dave's cooking up something new. You can always try the Southern Cajun shrimp boil. It's good. But you know what else is going on now. It's ideal when you want to even get their event. You want to get your event catered? They can do that for you. Corporate events, business luncheons, weddings, parties, big or small, or game day, people. It's self-service setup. Make it real easy for you. It's Famous Dave's.
HL 1045 The Zone. Rest in peace, Aaron Carter passed away at the age of 34 years old. His brother Nick Carter of the Backstreet Boys lived in Nashville for a long time, and I got to know a lot of y'all, and I got to know him pretty well too. And that's just that's a tough thing, man, to go through all of the things that Aaron Carter went through. That I mean, just that we know about publicly, but to do it through such a public prism, and to confront demons, but also have it all magnified because you're living that public life. It just tough. So rest in peace, Aaron Carter, and thoughts and prayers to Nick Carter and his family. Again, they spend a lot of time in Nashville, so there is that. Titans 2017 overtime loss.
Yeah,
to Kansas City, and that was tough, man. The defense played well, and they were on the field so long. And Patrick Mahomes ended up doing Patrick Mahomes things, which he can do anytime, but especially when a defense has been on the field for as long as they have, and they're just gasping for air. And on 3rd and 17, he can run for 20.
Time of possession. God, that one. That was the dagger.
Was the play.
That was the dagger.
Wasn't that funny? Like,
back breaking.
When you're watching a game and a play like that happens, and you literally sit there and go,
you see it.
That was it. And, athletes don't do that. Athletes move on to the next thing. And, none of the Titans thought, okay, great. But watching at home.
You felt it.
That play right there.
41 minutes and 28 seconds time of possession for the Chiefs. 26 minutes and 23 seconds for the Titans. And I think you saw that defense at the end of the game. And Buck put out video of Jeffrey Simmons post-game on his Twitter feed. They were just exhausted.
Yep.
Like, that defense gave absolutely every ounce of energy and everything they had in that game. I mean, to be on that field for 41 minutes against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and to only give up 20 points, honestly, that's pretty impressive when your offense just did nothing. 9 total first downs.
By the way, Derrick Henry with 17 carries, went over 100 yards for the 5th straight game. That's the second time in his career he's done that. He now leads the NFL in rushing. The King leads the NFL in rushing with 870 yards. Nick Chubb, Cleveland, 841.
Although Jonathan Taylor hasn't played in, 2 games now.
Listen to you.
Has Cleveland had their bye week?
I ain't worried about Jonathan Taylor.
No, I'm just pointing it out. I'm pointing it out. No, but
that's who the guy was.
But that was the guy, and that's also a testament to Derrick Henry and his durability, because dude is carrying the ball like 30 times a game, and he's still out there, and he's still getting it done. And where the hell was he in the second half of that game last night?
With us.
And where is he on 3rd and 5? I get it. It's a 3rd down play.
Everybody knows.
But why the hell isn't Derrick Henry on the field?
They've been knowing that he's getting it. He's been knowing. And what was all the bootlegging and all the RPOs? Like, it worked great in the first half.
Yeah. I loved
I wonder if
the creativity
I did too.
You saw in the first half. You wonder if he's hurt.
I mean, listen, I know nothing about nothing. I'm just saying, when I look at Derrick Henry standing on the sideline getting 7 carries in the second half, I'm wondering if something's going on with the foot or the ankle or whatever.
Yep.
We'll find out. The Colts have their own set of problems. It's so funny, too, because, they were getting run by New England, and Slay texted us, this dude about to get fired.
Amen.
And he got fired.
Amen.
Today.
Listen, man, this ain't nothing but a chain of events that happens when Nathaniel is at the helm.
Well, he backed to Nathaniel.
He back to Nathaniel.
Yeah, last year, this year.
So at some point, it's a chain reaction. You got to clear you got to take the car, get it fumigated. You got to get everything done to it. Like, if a Nathaniel's been sitting in that driver's seat.
Like when Vincent Vega shot Marvin in the face.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Where's your Mr. Fixer? Who's the Mr. Fixer for the Colts?
Wolf.
Where's your wolf? Exactly.
Yikes.
You got to have somebody. You saw that movie, Bab, so you know what it is.
I know.
Yeah,
he
little
shot
pieces
Marvin
of
in the
skull
face.
back there. It's like, hey, man,
How did I get on brain detail?
Hey, man, all I'm just saying.
Shot him.
All I'm saying is Nathaniel did what Nathaniel does, man. And, hey,
somebody
bless
called you.
y'all.
Somebody called you on Blaine and Mickey a Nathaniel.
Oh,
Did they?
I heard about
Ron
that.
Nathaniel Slay.
I missed that.
You got a what is their
I'm about to go. Why
segment?
was I Nathaniel, though?
You were like one of their ding dongs of the week or something.
Yeah.
a caller.
You were the ding dong of the week for this guy. for your Georgia take.
I'm glad. Stay on your mind.
Oh, this is what he said. Now I remember.
What?
He's like, hey, Tennessee wins these big games. Slay shows up on all the shows. Where's Slay been?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, Slay's got about 3 hours he's going to do here in a second.
Yeah, where you want me to be?
Nobody invited you on, did
Yeah,
they?
exactly. Yeah. The other shows they asked me
I'm
to
like,
come on.
trust me, Slay
Yeah.
would still come on.
I can guarantee you.
Listen, it's like when you were a kid. Like, you go to play at your friend's house. You don't just walk in the door. Like, you
Listen.
got to knock. They got to let you in.
Yeah, they got to,
And you
they
gonna
got to
get
pull
it.
you on in.
You're going to get doses of them tomorrow. Tuesday and Wednesday is my day, man.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah, be ready, man.
We got
Let me
loaded
ask-
lines.
Let me ask you a question,
Yeah,
and
the people.
we'll answer this as we go through. But does experiencing that stage and that level propel Tennessee to a national championship? 615-737-1045. We're talking a lot of Titans
This
football.
year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Garrett and Smyrna. Garrett, what's up?
Hey guys, it's good to thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to say I had a few points on last night's game. So if y'all don't mind, I'm going to get into
Hit it.
it. But I think my biggest issue and biggest thing I took away from last night's game was the 2-point conversion. They got 3 tries at it. The second penalty, it should have been over right then. I mean, we should have had the lead. The game should be over at that point, and then that's game. So that was my biggest issue. And then as a fan, I'm frustrated, and I think the reason is because in the first couple weeks of the season, Todd Downing, like we were saying, where are the second half adjustments? Where are they? You're not doing anything. And then it's like all of a sudden we get into this game and we're actually doing well with the backup who, first of all, I will give credit to Malik because he did better than I think any of us thought he would and kept us in that game when no one counted us in. Thank God, Tony Dungy, he got us the only pick on CBS last night, or NBC. But I just think it's frustrating to see him just all of a sudden not keep doing what was working, and it's just irritating. And good win for Kansas City. And with the Tennessee Vols loss, I would just say, hey man, at least LSU did you at least a favor. So, because I think if it comes down to it, Tennessee Vols beat LSU outright in Louisiana at Death Valley, hands down easily. And last Saturday was that voodoo magic, Ron Slay. So got to give it up to him. So
Hey,
that voodoo's real.
Thank you, Garrett, man. We got to run to a break. Appreciate you. That's what it's going to come down to. I mean, the blowout win at a top 10 team that could be playing in the SEC championship game is huge.
Yeah.
The ranked wins, all that stuff. Like Tennessee's going to have an amazing resume with the only loss coming out number 1 Georgia. So, we'll see how it all plays out. There are things, obviously, that have to happen, but that Clemson loss was big, too.
Huge.
Notre Dame.
Huge because they have a cake schedule the rest of the way.
They do. And Notre Dame didn't just beat them.
No, they blast them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They made Clemson dig their own grave, get in it, then they shot him, then covered him up. That's what they did to Clemson.
That was crazy. I watched some of that game.
3HL. We'll be right back. Maybe they got a car at Gupton, Notre Dame did, and then they just ran Clemson over and then backed it up again and hit them again. I don't know. But Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, that's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. My guy Jeff downstairs went to talk to Daniel Gupton, the guys today, and we always love going up to see those guys, and you will too. They will put no pressure on you because they simply want one thing. you in the right vehicle for you, and that's what'll happen. Go take your test drive, go inside. They'll help make the numbers work. It'll be that easy. 30 minutes from downtown Nashville, 3450 Tom Austin Highway, the best car buying experience you will ever have had. And I bought multiple vehicles from them. They're awesome people. I've known these guys for a long, long time, and they'll do great work for you. Car, truck, SUV, Jeep, whatever you're looking for, new or pre-owned, they'll be able to hook you up and help you out. GuptonMotors.com is the website. Check them out online, GuptonMotors.com. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Hey, Babsy, check this out.
Yo.
We got a partner, and I think we need to let the listeners know, man. We got a partner named Stan who, is involved with something called Apple Collision Centers. Babsy, if you have a accident or somebody has an accident in your family, maybe it's a kid or something, you want to get things taken care of, but you don't want to deal with your insurance. You just want to go self-pay. You think they could do that?
Yep. Apple Collision Centers will take care of it for you. Let's say you do want to go through your insurance. They'll handle all that paperwork and all that mess. If there's hail damage or an auto accident or just a dent and you want your insurance to take care of it, Apple Collision Centers will do it. They'll arrange a rental for you. They'll even tow your car.
I like that. I like all those above. I'll check all those boxes. Also, certified. You may be wondering, like, what type of cars? Who does it fall under? What umbrella? Kia, Nissan, Hyundai, and Mopar just got certified. So get on over there to AppleCollisionCenters.com and schedule a free estimate and learn more.
That's right. Hendersonville, Old Hickory, and Gallatin. Call them.
Good afternoon from the Superbook.com sports desk. I'm Joe Hunk. Titans coming off that loss to the Chiefs, but there was good news. The fact that basically the AF South is totally destroyed, mainly because even the Colts are starting to blow up because they have fired head coach Frank Wright. 40-33-1 was his regular season record in his 5 seasons as the head coach of the Colts. Now, fantasy football-wise, be paying attention to this if you have Josh Allen, as he is going to be limited this week because of the elbow injury that he got late in that loss that on Sunday that the Bills did have to the Jets. There may be a possibility of him not playing this upcoming week. And college basketball starts tonight. Number 11 Tennessee is hosting Tennessee Tech at 6 o'clock, and Vanderbilt is hosting Memphis at 7. Both of those games you can watch on ESPN Plus. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. If you're watching Zone TV, you will notice that Dawn Davenport is fashionably hooked in now with her pink headphones.
Yes. That is not bunked. My headphones are not bunked.
Are those like Hello Kitty headphones? Remember that? Remember Hello
They
Kitty?
should have some ears on them.
Hello Kitty's still around.
Or did they just get,
They're very padded.
No, and they're good because they don't crush my earrings into my ear.
I'm saying,
See, this is girl problems.
yeah. What did you say earlier? That you got new cans? You got new...
I got new jugs.
Phrasing.
What'd
No
you
way that
do with
turns
the
out-
other ones, though?
No way that turns out to be a soundbite.
I threw them back there somewhere.
What do you mean you threw them back
I mean,
there somewhere?
I placed them in the, people can borrow these.
Well, they do anyway.
Since they were already borrowing them anyway.
They were already borrowing. So, see, here's the deal. I work around a lot of men.
Yeah.
If you steal my pink headphones, everybody's going to know.
So are they going to
That's
call
true.
them out and everything?
That's a
baby?
great point.
That is why I did it.
Smart.
Yeah,
Yes.
and behind the curtain in the radio world, so like people using your headphones, then they're getting like their ear sweat and ear wax into your
Gross.
headphones.
Yeah, thanks.
I hope they clean.
And I don't like to keep them with me because then, I throw my bag in the car and I break them or I forget them or whatever. So
She's a mess over there, but she's here and ready and talking about the Titans' loss to the Chiefs 20-17 in
That's a
overtime.
hot mess, too.
Joe Hunk producing this show, which means he's going to hit a button when I say this. Ron Slay is here.
Hey, I'm in the building. That's right.
I
I'm in the building.
I still wish I could push the buttons. Kind of a little control
I'm
issue
okay
there.
with you not pushing the buttons.
I'd push all kinds of buttons.
Yeah,
Well, I'd be launching all kinds of things, man.
ain't that the
It'd be
truth.
soundbite over soundbite.
It'd be launch.
Glad you're in the building today, Slay.
Hey, I'm most definitely in the building. A lot of people act like I was supposed to hide or something to be in the building. Like, what? I don't.
No, you said on Friday, look, man, Georgia beats Tennessee. I'm going to show up on Monday.
Hey, man,
That's what we do.
I'm wide open for this, man. This is what it's about, man.
Let me ask you a question, though. And I kind of asked it before the break. And we're talking about Tennessee, obviously, because they're on the national stage. Now number 5 in the AP poll. Playoff poll comes out tomorrow. My guess is they'll be 5 again in that one, too.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to keep them up there. Only loss is at number 1. I mean, you know. But my question, does experiencing that stage, that level, propel Tennessee to a national championship? And Bab said, this year? I said, yes, this year.
I think.
Do you have to go through that to understand what that is? Like, had they not gone through that and played some crap-ass schedule like TCU, and then you get to the playoff and then you get faded because you just haven't experienced that.
Yeah, I think that was good for it. I think, without question, like you want to have calluses on. You want to build up calluses. If I'm saying that the right way. When you walk into a situation, so you're not just out there fresh. Like it.
Yeah. You're worn. You've been through it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what that crowd experience is like because you've been on the other side of it. And at some point you start to believe that you're superhuman. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's anything humbling or anything. I think it's just a different experience. Now you can reach back and say, oh, we've been through this experience also.
Yeah.
We can look back on it. This is how you come out of it on the other side.
And 100%.
This is where we get better.
Right.
100% of the credit goes to Georgia. They showed up and
Without
they
question.
did what they do.
Without question.
They know who they are. They know what that environment is.
They were prepared
and
for
they
it.
put it on them.
Yep, they were prepared for it.
615-737-1045. Obviously, the Titans with the 20-17 loss in overtime. Malik Willis, the quarterback, completed 5 balls in this game. He did throw some nice balls that were not caught. I will say that.
I was going to say, we haven't brought that part up yet.
And
there's
all
something to be
kinds of-
said for getting a little help.
Yes, and there are all kinds of comments after that game that we need to talk about too. 615-737-1045. Blake in Franklin. Blake, what's up?
What's up, guys?
What up, Blake?
Hey.
Slay. How y'all doing?
Doing great, baby. What's
What
up?
up, Craig? Let's go. What you got?
Here's the deal. Tennessee played their worst game that they've played all year, and Georgia played their best. In Athens, give me a neutral site, and we beat them. Because the deal is like y'all just said, y'all stole my thunder. If you've never been there, how do you know what to expect? And last year, if we go into that same environment, we get beat by 30.
Yeah.
But now you're going to give Heupel another chance at it. Now, he's the only one on that whole sideline that's been in a game like this because he won a national championship. But he's never called plays from that position. Now, let him go back and make the adjustments. Put us on a neutral site. Look, we don't beat Alabama if we're not kneeling.
Yeah.
Put us on a neutral site.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Good point.
I think we win the national championship. I ain't lying. And listen, am my glasses colored orange? Absolutely. But I do believe that I call it how I see it.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, with that offense and as good as that defense is getting, please give us 3 weeks to play some cupcakes, get ready for you. You don't want none.
Appreciate it, Craig.
All right, Craig. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, I think you go back to it and you look at it, man. I think it's such a teaching moment for a guy like Rodney Gardner also. Physicality, from the physicality standpoint, it was different. You got to see what 5 stars look like when they're motivated to play. I mean, it's no knock. It's like it ain't no knock. Like, dog, they were different. They made plays. They were able to man up across the board and get pressure on Hooker, and your offensive guys not be able to get off the ball. Like, I haven't seen that all year. And they've done played some high caliber guys. Like, you just look at what Ojulari did against Alabama. Like, they played him and counseled him out. Look how Will Anderson played against LSU. They counseled him out. So they done played guys. Jalen Carter was a man amongst boys out there, and it looked like it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. So, I mean, listen, day in and day out, man, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but you just got to be better on that day. And they were the big dog on that day. Tip my cap. Ain't nothing else to be said to me.
615-737-1045. Greg in Nashville. Greg, what's up? How are you?
What's going on, guys?
Tell us.
And ladies, I'm sorry.
You're good.
It's your favorite dump truck driver. I called in a couple weeks ago and told you that my wife was a Tennessee fan and I was a Georgia fan, and I said, "Sick 'em Smokey."
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
I just want y'all to know that I lost a lot of money on FanDuel when it comes to Tennessee Vols. Don't tell nobody I voted or I bet on the Vols.
I think a lot of people were with you.
But I was smart enough to think that the Titans had enough to them that they were going to make enough game at KC to go to overtime. So I made my money back because I bet for an overtime.
Oh, wow. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But my biggest thing is neither one of the Tennessee teams have anything to hang their head on. They've worked hard all year long. They got plenty of game left. Mm-hmm. They're going to get it done. Both of them. I am a Georgia fan, but I am kind of on the Tennessee bandwagon. I really want to see the Vols do what they're supposed to do. My only thing is, did Hollister beat the plane back to Nashville and still didn't realize that the ball was thrown to him.
It was moving. I know that
was funny.
It was moving out there.
I mean, that boy was getting it, son. I mean, his hair looked like he was about to leave the planet. I mean, I don't know. I'm just, man, Malik, that dude did everything he could do. I was screaming and jumping and bouncing around the house. My wife looking at me like I was possessed. I don't know. Hollister was running a track meet, and I still don't think he knows the ball hit the ground yet.
Oh, my
It
God.
just the funny thing. He just kept on running towards the sideline. He didn't stop and look back. He just kept going.
He did.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh,
Appreciate it,
Hey,
bro.
thanks, man. Love it. That was funny. Yeah, Hollister. There was another play where he was wide open and Malik didn't keep his eyes down
And
the
the
field.
flats.
Right.
And that might have, he
the
might have still been
flats.
running to the play.
Wide.
Showed a little bit more patience and just waited, bait him in.
Easy to say.
He didn't bait him. No, yeah, without question.
But
Without
yeah, but
question.
that's what separates the good NFL quarterbacks and
Yeah.
See that in my head.
Yes.
With his hair flowing out his
Yep.
helmet behind him.
God love it.
Nobody there.
Speaking of Malik Willis, he talked about how, he was asked if they could win with so few pass attempts. Five of 16, 80 yards. What was going through his head as he was scrambling around in overtime?
Oh, gosh. Oh.
I can't keep running around for my life, man. Just
I mean-
somebody get open.
I just wanted to
Spot
hug him
the
after
lie.
those two
Yep.
plays. Though.
Spot the lie.
Right, I know.
Jump ball,
But-
anything.
Ugh.
I can't throw anything.
They might be giving him a media lesson here soon.
Yeah.
Boy, Joe
That's
Milton
gonna be
But see-
hard.
Joe Milton would have thrown it.
Yeah, back to us.
Put a hole in somebody's back.
Yeah, but at least that'd be entertaining.
Man, I mean, hey, Malik's honest.
Yeah.
But you couple that, well, first of all, you watch the game.
Mm-hmm.
Then you couple that with the Ed Werder quote from Mike
Yeah.
Vrabel.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there's a whole lot of wide receivers being called out here, or wide
Yeah.
receiving core being called out.
Speaking of the wide receivers, they did not have a catch in this football game. NWI talked about that. Yeah. Yeah, talking about that quote you mentioned, Mike Vrabel to Ed Werder quote, we've been able to use him, talking about Derrick Henry getting 26 carries. Can you sustain that every game? We've been able to use him, and he's helped us win a lot of games since I've been here. I don't know what else to do. Throw it 50 times? I mean, who the bleep would we throw it to?
Yeah.
Vrabel and Malik just being honest out here, right?
It's an honesty hour.
And then
Yeah.
Kevin Byard at one point was like, how many snaps were we on the field? Like 100? And I don't think he meant anything by it, but
No,
like you
he
hear a
didn't,
guy.
but they're just exhausted.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
Heck, they almost went through 10 just on the 2-point conversion.
My thing got to go back to what Babsy was saying, and we talked about in the offseason. With these runs, man, and with this grit and with this effort and energy and with all playing with all this heart and things like that, dog, the biggest lucky charm of them all that you got to have is health. If all this is null and void, man. If you ain't got healthy guys on the field, man, I'm sorry. If Bud stays in that game, I think it's different.
I think it's different too.
You know
I
what
was
I'm
going to say
saying?
that, yeah. Because he was just free for all in.
I mean,
So disruptive.
it freed so much up for Danico, Big
Yes.
Jeff, everything.
Well, he was
Yes.
keeping Mahomes contained, too.
Yeah, that
Correct.
too. And Weaver hasn't been, like we talked about with experience, he hasn't been in that spot to know playing a guy like this, how elusive he is, what he's trying to set you up for, how he's trying to manipulate the pocket. And he did it on those last drives.
The voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, will join us when we come back. Stay tuned, 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, we're about to have the VOT on here in a couple of minutes, so stick around for that. Maybe it was a stressful weekend for you. I get you if you're a Tennessee football fan, right? And maybe you just want to go somewhere and relax. Nice little massage or something. How about a Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa? They'll get you feeling right. They'll take care of you. And here's the deal. Maybe it's not a massage. Maybe you need a manicure, a pedicure, or a facial, or I don't know, sunless tanning because it's starting to get wintertime here. A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa has all of it. In fact, they have almost a dozen services, and they're all under one roof at their place over there off of Carruthers Parkway and Bakers Bridge Avenue. A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. Great gift idea, by the way, guys. You can print a gift card straight from the website. Go see them. Everybody loves spa gifts, and this is a great way to make somebody feel better. A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. You can go check it on their website, amomentspeace.com, or call them at 615-224-0770. That's 224-0770. If you have any questions or special requests, they can take care of you, or just go stop by. A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa across from Interstate 65 in Cool Springs from Galleria Mall, right there at Carruthers Parkway and Bakers Bridge Avenue.
Let's talk about bets, baby. Now, this is something that didn't go so great for me. This weekend, it was a little rough, man, on NFL and college football. Well, college football, I was straight, but the home state guys didn't take care of me. Vandy and Tennessee hurt me. But Superbook Sports, that's how you download. You have to get into the money. You download the Superbook Sports app and visit superbook.com. Start placing your bets immediately. I went 2-2 this weekend on my picks, man. It wasn't too good in college football, but I redeemed myself. I did good the weeks before. I know I can do it again. Right now, Superbook has lines up for every game you can imagine, whether it be professional, whether it be collegiate. You can get in on it and put Vegas right there in the palm of your hand and start betting Superbook. Now, what you got to really understand, offering up to $1,000 bonus when you sign up, deposit, and wager in the same day. Can you do that? You can take care of that? Well, get into action right now with Superbook Sports. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Book it!
Voice of the Titans, Mike Heath on Titans Radio Network. Mike Heath joins us now on 3HL. Brett Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. Mike, what's up? How are you?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
Doing well. I think every Titan fan, if you would have told them, hey, man, this game's going to overtime, I'm not going to tell you what happens, but would you take it? I think 100%, 100 times out of 100, everybody would have said yes. That was a heck of a football game, kind of a strange game, but really played hard and played well by both teams.
Yeah, I think so. This team showed up. It knew what it had to do, no matter who the Titans quarterback was going to be. They certainly understood the challenge. I think they took the challenge. And, the amazing thing about Mahomes' performance is he threw for 446, and yet his passer rating was slightly under 81. And they sacked him 4 times.
Yeah.
They did not have a 50% third down conversion rate. All of those things played right into what the Titans wanted to do. They were better than the Chiefs in the red zone. They were better in turnover ratio. The third down thing, being 1 for 11, ended up being a huge problem, even though the Colts were 8 of 18. The 1 for 11 turned out to be a key one. But, they put themselves in the ball game, and they certainly had an opportunity. Unfortunately, just couldn't finish the job.
I want to keep it positive here for a little bit, Mike Keith. I feel like we need a little positivity. And the call that we played coming into you was your call of McCreary. And I just have been so impressed with what he's been able to do as a rookie. I mean, played every snap. Where have you kind of seen him even get more comfortable and improve? Because he's playing lights out right now. I mean, I know there's going to be moments. Yeah.
Well, I mean, every defensive back gets beat.
Right.
But, this is a guy that it doesn't seem to affect him. He just continues to figure out a way to make plays. He keeps coming back. He'll hit against the run. He'll tackle big guys in the open field and tight ends who catch the ball down the field. He's not afraid. I mean, he's a big-time player. And the Titans had targeted him. They had zoned in on him starting at the Senior Bowl, and he has been everything that you could have wanted. I think he's NFL All-Rookie. I'll be very shocked if he's not. He's one of the best. He's one of the best defensive players they've had as a rookie in a long, long time. Maybe one of the best ever, really.
Mike Keith, another thing. Looking at Kansas City, was it? You did a great job on Travis Kelce. Looking at Kevin Byard, what he did, manning up on him, man. Of course, it was a little bit of help, but for the most part, taking
face to face.
Yeah, face to face, man, mano a mano.
Yeah.
You made him go away from that, and it was like we didn't have a immediate answer for a guy like Juju. How much of an impact did he have in that game?
He caught 10 for 88.
Mm-hmm.
Not much.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, that's what you're into. You go into this game understanding they're going to complete a bunch of passes,
mm-hmm.
and they're going to gain a bunch of yards. But here's where it starts, and that's what I was talking about with the 80.9 passer rating from Mahomes. Mahomes has a 109 passer rating entering that game.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what that means. He's getting yards, but he's not scoring touchdowns. If you tell me before the game they're going to score 17 points in regulation, I will take that every day of the week and twice on Sunday. And that's what the effectiveness was is, sure, they caught passes, but they didn't score a lot of points. And that's what this game had to be if the Titans were going to have a chance, which, because it went into overtime, they obviously did.
Kansas City on the ground, Mike, outside of Pat, 13 carries, 14 yards.
Yeah,
it was fun to watch the defensive line just totally get in there and just get physical. Olivia Newton-John reference. But just control that run game and also, until a couple instances late, kind of keep Pat in that box,
Well, it took Mahomes to make the difference. Mahomes running won the game.
Yep.
That's what it came down to.
3rd and 17.
Entering the game, he was running 3 times a game for an average of about 15 yards a game. But you know he can do more. You understand he can do more. And he made some great plays. I mean, I think in many of those situations, you just have to tip your hat. And it's hard. It's hard to give up 3rd and 17. But I don't know what they could have done differently, because if you don't stay plastered on your receiver, then he's going to throw it to somebody. Well, if you stay plastered on a receiver, guess what? Your back is turned to the quarterback. And that's what's going to happen. So you can't have answers for everything he does. He's going to have success. There are going to be certain things he's going to do. But, I mean, if you look at him, I mean, he's played basically 8.5 quarters against the Titans the last 2 years, and he has 23 points.
Yeah, that's right on.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I had 3 last year. All right, let's talk about the rook quarterbacks, shall we? What did you see in this game from Malik Willis as compared to his first start against Houston?
I saw a lot of progress in the first half. I
Yes.
saw him taking it to the defense. I saw him playing confidently. I saw him getting rid of the ball quickly. I thought they had some good options for him with some of the throws and the formations. In the second half, when they got behind the chains and they got into obvious passing situations, that's where he's going to have problems. Mm-hmm. And that's where he did have problems. And then late in the game, in 2-minute type situations, Coach Mack and I had talked about this extensively, and we did mention it on air, I think maybe even last week. The 2-minute stuff was where you probably missed Tannehill the absolute most, because this is a young man who's taken no 2-minute snaps with the first team until last week, since he's been here realistically. And so, and obviously he doesn't have Tannehill's experience. I mean, you got an experienced quarterback. I mean, you look at a Kirk Cousins or a Ryan Tannehill or Matt Ryan or anybody who's done it so many times. Look what Tom Brady did at the end of the game yesterday without a lot of time. They know exactly what to do and what things are going to be open. This kid's never seen that. And that was the difficulty in him playing in this situation, one that we hoped that he would not have to play in this year. And so I don't think we learn a tremendous amount for what his long-term is going to be based on what we saw, particularly in the second half and in overtime, where you've got to go and do, and there's just no choice. You want to have a lot of choices for him. In the first half, guess what? They did. They stayed ahead of the chains. He ran effectively. When he did throw, I thought he made some really nice throws. The receivers could have helped him out a little bit more, too. There were certainly 2 occasions that his stats could have been improved dramatically. But, I mean, remember this. Patrick Mahomes was never asked to do, as a rookie, what Malik Willis was asked to do last night.
Right.
He was redshirted. And the goal was always to redshirt this kid and, play him sporadically in a couple of late game situations to let him get a little bit of experience. But I think he's going to be better for it long term. I think you see his poise, and it clearly didn't break him. He wasn't scared of anything, and I don't think he's going to be. Does he have to get better if he's going to prove he can be the regular guy at some point down the line? Sure he is. But he was going to have to do that anyway, I think.
Well, and there were 2 dropped passes that didn't help him that certainly should have been caught. And then maybe you have a different conversation, too. I feel like the frustration is kind of bubbling up with maybe a lack of a true number 1 wide receiver. Is that fair?
No, I mean, I don't think so, because I don't think that was a factor last night.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what it came down to. I mean, you've got Conley, you got to catch that ball.
Yeah.
I mean, you're an NFL. Yeah. It doesn't matter whether you're a 1, a 2, a 3, or 4, or 5. I mean, you got to catch the ball. You're getting paid to do that, and that's a situation where you've got to come down with a pass that's thrown in a really good place. Just like Hooper came up with that ball inside the 5, and that was a well-thrown ball, but it's a contested catch that you've got to make. I I understand the frustration with the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think for what the Titans have been able to do in the passing game the last 2 weeks that it's really a reflection on schemes, concepts, personnel. You're playing with a very green quarterback who's not going to be asked to do the things that your 34-year-old quarterback can do. Now, this team's got to improve the passing game down the stretch.
Yeah.
If they're going anywhere, they've got to improve the passing game down the stretch. But I don't think it was going to be over the last 2 weeks or that was any telltale sign of where it was going to be. I just don't. I don't think they were going to take the governor off enough to let him do some of the things that they will certainly try to do when Tannehill comes back, which we all hope is soon because he's the starter. He's the guy. I mean, that's obvious to everybody. It was obvious in the preseason. Anybody who has tried to ever make this a quarterback controversy doesn't watch football. This kid had a long way to go, but he's got, there are positive qualities to him.
Voice of the Titans, Mike Keith with us on 3HO.
Mike, let me ask you this. Shifting from there, I wasn't able to listen to you guys call in the second half, did the first half. Well, and we're going to get Coach Mack on Wednesday, but what was his thoughts, and your thoughts as well, on the officiating in the second half? Because when you make calls that can be called every single play,
Holding.
yeah, like holding, but then you got a monster in Big Jeff who's fighting. And, I mean, at some point it's blatant holding because it's only one way to stop him. You know what I'm saying, in a sense. Like, what were your thoughts on the officiating, on that little nuance of the game?
Well, so, I'm a John Ward disciple. Mm-hmm. And when he would do basketball, he would say things like, well, so far here in the second half, there have been 8 fouls called on Tennessee, 2 on LSU.
I do that too. Yeah.
So just wait. There's a call coming.
Yeah. I love it.
Here, I predicted it. There it is. Here's another call. When the first 6 calls of the second half went against the Titans,
yeah,
the first 6 penalty calls, you're going, really?
right.
There's only one team doing these things?
Yes.
And that changed the offense dramatically, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, you've got a 10-yard run for Henry.
Yeah.
Here we go, right?
Yep.
Here we go. Nope, it's called back. And now it's 1st and 20. Well, there's not a lot of stuff. They're not going to let Willis drop back and stand there and hold the ball like he had to at the end of the game when he had no choice.
Right.
At the end of the game, he's got to throw. He's got to drop back and throw it, and he just there's just not enough experience in making those decisions. And so, the penalties really stifled the offense dramatically. My thoughts on the officiating would be this. I thought they were way too involved in that football game.
Mm-hmm. Especially a knock drag out game.
That's a beautiful way to
be.
say it. Yeah, sorry.
Well, I mean, if you want to listen, every call may have been correct for all I know. Okay,
right.
But what I'm saying is there were 18 enforced penalties. With declined penalties and offsetting penalties, they threw nearly 30 flags.
Oh, goodness.
Ladies and gentlemen, the number one television show in America is Sunday Night Football.
Mm.
Yep.
When
Happy Days was the number one television show in America for 10 years, it was always about Fonzie and Richie.
Yeah.
It was never a whole episode about Ralph Mallet.
Yeah.
The official,
So you're saying, like, if an official gets
let's
on
put it this way. If you were watching Friends 20 years ago, did we ever get a whole episode about Gunther? Central Perk? No. Seinfeld? Ever get a whole episode about the mailman? No.
Newman.
I mean,
Hello,
you want
Newman.
to see the game. If it's not blatant, the officials don't need to be involved. We don't need to know who the officials actually are.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
I love it. So
Great comparison.
we don't need to see an official jumping a shark, right, behind a motorboat.
I mean, 100%. I mean, I think that's kind of what – I mean, on the 2-point play, That's what it felt like.
Oh,
They
my
threw,
gosh.
They called 4 different penalties on the first 2-point play.
That was amazing.
I mean, what are we doing? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a mad scramble for life, and he's running around the pocket, and so all kinds of things start to happen in secondary. Well, generally when a quarterback leaves the pocket, all bets are off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just let the play out.
Right.
And then you go back, and then one team says, well, you could have called this. Well, yeah, I mean, you could have called 7 things. Guess what? Last night they actually did.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, the Titans, you know, they've got to clean up their penalties. And again, all 8 for 51 may have been justified. It's just, to me, I don't think it's good football when you have the officials that involved. And I think privately, that's what anybody who's involved with the league would say. Be like, you know, that's not cool. Let's not do that.
Yeah, 18
Probably
flags.
a conversation that somebody from the league is having
Yeah.
with that
18
officiating crew. Yes.
Yeah, let me say it this way: 18 accepted penalties.
Right.
Because as you pointed out, there were multiple flags on multiple plays. So,
Right.
yeah, voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, the head coach. You've got the show coming up, the Mike Vrabel show coming up tonight.
Looking forward to that at 6, and hopefully people will tweet us their questions at Titans Radio, and we will ask the coach all of them that we can. I think he, in his press conference today, he was very frank about the disappointment.
Yeah.
It was quite a disappointment for the Titans to lose a game where they fought so hard. Not that the Chiefs didn't deserve it. I'm not saying that, but the Titans laid it all on the line, and now physically and emotionally, they've got to find a way to get back up off the deck for a very physical Denver Broncos team who's trying to find their way on offense. Their defense might be the best in the league.
Mike Keith, the voice of the Titans with Mike Vrabel coming up tonight. The Mike Vrabel show at 6 o'clock following 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Okay, tell Ralph Malph I said hello.
All right, I will not do that. When we come back, I know a lot of patient people have been waiting to get in. We will go straight to the phones next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. I wonder what Kayla meant by that. I don't know. What she really meant was that your house probably needs a floor. Buddy Allen Carpet One can help you out there. Locally owned and operated by the Allen family for more than 55 years. Zach Jenna and Judson Allen are in the store every day, and if your home does not have a roof, maybe they can supply you with turf. I don't know. But check them out in the showroom, 2405 Lebanon Pike in Donaldson, 615-883-3289. BuddyAllenCarpet1.com. All right, 3HL 1045 The Zone, rolling through a Monday in the Music City. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. Let's go to the phones. Cousin Danny next up on 3HL. Danny, what's up?
Hey, guys. How we doing today? Good to talk to you.
Word
So
up.
I'll fly through everything. First of all, shout out to Joe Mixon. That was one hell of a show yesterday.
Yeah.
Over 200 yards, 5 touchdowns. What a dog. Now, Titans fans, I've heard way too many of you moping today, saying nasty stuff about your team and your coaches and your coordinators and such. What I saw on Sunday Night Football was a team that I am not super excited to play the weekend after Thanksgiving as a Bengals fan. That is a scary Super Bowl caliber defense that almost kept a freaking subpar college offense in the game against the leading team in the AFC right now. Okay?
Yeah.
Titans fans, you got nothing to worry about. Your team is fine, and you would have won that game if Tannehill was under center. I like to rag on the guy, but damn it, y'all would have won if he was playing quarterback last night. I don't care who your pass catchers were. You heard? All right. Now, to the Vols. To my Vols. Gosh darn it, my Vols. They got whooped on. There's no excuses, no nonsense to be had. They got beat. Straight up. And Brent, you touched on what I wanted to say a little bit earlier when you said, hey, this is the kind of team that might be made better by getting beat on earlier in the year than when it comes to, being undefeated and untested going into the playoffs, right? I can think of maybe one team from last year, the Cincinnati Bearcats, right? Untested going into the playoffs, They got whooped on.
That's a
They
good
got
example.
stomped out.
Yep.
I'm really, really glad that's not the Tennessee Volunteers. There's no reason to think that if they win out, which they will not be in the playoffs. They will be there if they win out. They got to do what they got to do. Doesn't matter who's in the SEC championship game at this point, all right? Notre Dame and LSU took care of that for us. So we stay the course. We handle business. We let Heupel learn his lessons. We let Hooker learn his lessons. And we keep being the best damn fans in the country.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. And to Slay's point, I think the wide receivers learning to handle their business because, hey, man, when you play teams like that, they're not afraid of you.
No, they're not.
They're going to get up in your grill.
I think the biggest thing with it is when you start to become marked like that and you start to be able to put up numbers like that, like people look forward to playing you. You're not now going out there and showing why you are. You're out there going with a perceived notion that we are the truth and they're going to let us do what we want to do, not against the big dogs. It don't happen like that. Like they relish those moments. Ringo relished that moment. The safety, I forgot his name, relished that moment. Yep. Yeah, so the one thing, though, with Cousin Danny called, like, everything he said is right about the Titans, and I don't think people are worried about what he named. The defense, that's fine. Like, that's been fine for 2 years now. That's what you hang your hat on. The problem is the offense. Like, we don't see that. And even with Tannehill in there, it's still the same exact problem that has been the last 2 weeks with him out.
Yeah.
You can't score in the second half.
One first down in the last 35 minutes of the game.
That's the problem. Like, if you playing darts, you're going to keep hitting that mark. That's the mark because it's the biggest target. You can't score in the second half.
Yep.
They need Traylon Burks back.
And Kyle Phillips. You got to have them too.
Mm-hmm.
With regard to Tennessee, they are a 21-point favorite against Missouri. They will be probably around, what do you think, like 17.5, 18 at South Carolina, and then probably closer to 30 against Vanderbilt.
50.
Yeah,
so an 11-1 team sitting there with that resume, it'll be hard to keep out.
Mm-hmm. With their only loss to the number one team, as long as Georgia continues
on the road.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's go to Kevin in Hopkinsville. Kevin, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, Brent?
Good, man.
Don, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Mr. Slay,
Yo.
I told you last week that Georgia was going to dog walk Tennessee.
You did.
And I told you last week that the Titans were going to get beat by the Chiefs. So now, in regards to the Georgia game, I believe there was a song or a verse from a song that you were going to share with us today.
Georgia.
I didn't know if you were ready.
That is what you wanted me to sing though, but I don't remember agreeing
sir.
to that. Yeah, I don't remember agreeing to that.
Because
I thought that was cool though.
Deal.
Yeah, it was no pushback on you. Like, what was your side of the bet? What were you gonna sing?
I mean, it doesn't matter what I was going to do. I could have ran down the street, but the bottom line was that Tennessee was not going to beat Georgia on any given Saturday.
Now, see, but that's hindsight speaking. I feel you.
Right. We'll disagree
okay,
on
yeah.
that.
And any Saturday, they never going to beat them. All right, that's what's up.
It would never happen.
I feel you.
Like if they play again in the playoffs,
I
there's
feel
no
you.
way Tennessee
I
can beat them.
feel you. But guess what? I do take my hat off to them. I take my hat off to the fans. Like, dude, they physically whooped. This is the first
Physically whooped
game
them. Yep.
all year that I saw them, from the physicality standpoint, get pushed around from the inside of the trenches all the way to the outside of the boundary. Like, without questions on both sides of the ball, too. Like, that's I don't really know what else. I don't know what else I could say.
You know, I do root for Tennessee. My dad was a Tennessee fan. He said as long as they beat Alabama, he didn't care if they lost every other game of the year, as long as they beat Alabama.
Yeah, I've never really understood that. Like, I've heard that forever. Like, oh, if Tennessee could just beat Florida, nobody else. I'm like, what? Really? You would go 1-11. Like, you want to endure that season. But anyway, I get you, Kevin. Thank you, man. Yeah, there was never an official bet put out there.
No, but
I sang a couple of bars for you.
Yeah, I mean, guess what? I like when the bets are made. I do honor my bets. You can ask cousin Danny. You can ask my Cash App app. It all knows. Trust me. So it's all right. You know what I mean? I've been on the right side this year. I've been on. My Cash App app knows. He hates sending money out.
Are you going to sing?
Send it. No, I'm not gonna sing because it wasn't a bet on the line. He did say he wanted me to sing Georgia on My Mind, but then he hung up because I didn't get to say, well, what's gonna happen if we win? And he hung up. So. It is what it is. But since y'all going to beat us every single year, you can get that opportunity next year.
Yeah.
Or maybe in the college football playoff.
Dang, I really want to hear you sing that.
Oh, I got some tunes, though. I got them pipes.
I know. Well, we heard your son do it.
Little Ron had to get it from somewhere.
I'm just saying.
I was leaving the house the other day and just randomly started singing his song. It just came into my head.
That's good, huh? That's what I'm talking about.
Snappy, baby.
he just wrote another one for Christmas.
Happy hour coming up next.
Happy holiday.
Stay tuned, 3HL. Oh, man, I can't wait. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
What's happening, people? I got an opportunity for you. Well, not just me, but, one of my reps. And one of my reps happen to be Music City Autoplex. They got an opportunity for you, a huge opportunity for you. You want to take advantage of it? Well, listen here. This is how I go. Orders have been given. Yep. They've been given to Music City Autoplex that they got to get an aggressive push to turn over their inventory. What does that mean for you? That means putting a lot of money in your pocket and marking down hundreds of units. Must be sold. Whatever it takes. Whatever they got to do it, they've got to do it, and you got to be there to receive it. This is your time to get a deal on your next late model used vehicle. That's unheard of. I know it is, but not in Music City Autoplex because they're the uncommon dealership. Makes a lot of sense, don't it? If it doesn't yet, it will. If you're in the market for a vehicle, don't miss the opportunity to snag the best prices you will see all year long. You can see their slash prices online, or better yet, visit the lot and see them personally. And when you visit the lot in person, you'll see why they're the uncommon dealership. It's not just about what they do business. It's about the relationships and inventory they're giving away. 2430 Gallons of Pike North, online at MusicCityAutoplex.com. Go get your car.
Good evening from the Superbook.com sports desk. I'm Joe Hunk. As we get ready for Monday Night Football, a lot of moves have been made for this game tonight. Specifically, the Saints have upgraded Kevin White, or I should say moved up Kevin White, Jordan Howard, as well as P.J. Williams to the active roster for the team tonight. When it comes to the Ravens, they have elevated Deshaun Jackson from the practice squad to the wide receiver position, so he will be making his debut for this season. Now, the Buffalo Bills lost to the New York Jets last night. Josh Allen may or may not be going at next week for the Bills. He is going to be limited during practice. He's got an elbow injury that he suffered late in that game on Sunday that the team is going to be monitoring throughout the week. So if you got him as your fantasy football quarterback, you may need to know that. And the regular season starts tonight for the college basketball world as Tennessee hosts Tennessee Tech at 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus, and Vanderbilt is hosting Memphis at 7. You can also watch that on the Plus. For all your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once, and you're home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. What up, Nashville? As Mickey Ryan would say, it is dark AF. At 5.
No, wah, wah, wah.
Welcome back to the dark
ages.
Are we just writing songs here?
See?
That's right.
I want to hear. That's a duet. Come on, y'all get in.
Ebony and Ivory, as you said Friday.
That's right.
Or Thursday. Maybe that was Thursday. Yeah, a lot going on. Talking about the Titans' loss in Kansas City, 20-17 in overtime. Malik Willis completed 5 balls. Derrick Henry over 100 yards for the 5th straight game. By the way, in his last 5 games, 129 carries, 678 yards, and 7 touchdowns. He is now, over that stretch, 5.3 yards per carry. The king is still the king. He is leading the NFL in rushing now. John Davenport is here with our pink headphones.
Yes.
That's Bach. That's Bach. Twitch, please.
Let's go.
Twitch, please.
Happy Monday, everybody.
I like them. Don had to get new headphones because people kept, I almost said stealing them, but I paused. I was going to say borrowing them.
Borrowing. That's probably a
word.
better word. I got pink because, now I will definitely know if somebody borrows them.
That's like the old thing, like back in the pool back in the day when they would say, hey, don't pee in the pool because it'll turn the
water purple.
Yeah, or whatever.
Or blue. Colored.
Green.
Watch.
Hunk was that kid.
Is that a real thing? Does that exist?
So. I think so. I never done it. You know what? That scarred me because I didn't know you was like when you go out on the lake. You're supposed to jump in the lake and use the bathroom.
Yeah, that's your bathroom.
Yeah, that was weird.
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of things in a lake.
Yeah, but that's still ain't cool.
You know how many snakes are in a lake? Like
Snakes,
2 feet from you,
dead
floating
bodies,
in that thing?
just animals that kill each other.
Dead bodies.
I'd rather be in the ocean.
What? What are you looking at?
Why would y'all do that?
Bodies.
Like, why we don't know?
There's cars in there.
You're never getting in a lake again. I mean, like, I have
Babsy,
spent
don't ruin this for me. Don't ruin
I've
this for me,
spent
Babsy.
numerous fourths in Lake Lanier in Georgia, and numerous times about to jump in to utilize the bathroom, and there's a snake swimming at the top of the water.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope, guess I'm not today. Oh yeah, I mean they're everywhere.
I mean, Nick Saban takes baths in the lake. Mm-hmm. You got to use Ivory soap though, because it won't sink. That's what Nick said.
Don't you miss that Nick Saban? Because he is not that Nick Saban
now he's
right
all
now.
like curmudgeon Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Y'all done messed my whole.
We messed up late day.
Like the last couple years, I've been enjoying going to the lake. Now y'all just threw it all off.
Yeah, look. I mean, just Google it. There's cars, dead bodies, all that stuff.
Why would I want to Google that, yo?
Snakes. What? Snake is like the least of your worries in the lake.
Oh, yeah. There's plenty of things that are worse than that.
Yeah.
You should go scuba diving down there. See what all you can see.
Yeah, it's
Actually,
murky.
it's hard to see.
Yeah, you can't see anything.
Yeah.
Oof.
All the
like
bacteria,
rescue dive teams. Man,
I don't know how they do it, man.
I don't either. You can barely see your hand in front of you.
You just start sweating. You just start floating towards something. Next thing you know, boom, right in your face.
He's Ron Slay.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building. Hey, I'm
and
in the
he's
building.
never getting in a lake again.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building. I'm in the building.
You okay there?
Sorry, Slay.
Hey, man. What is wrong with y'all, man? Like,
what do you mean?
Dude, you're not supposed to tell nobody no stuff like that. Like, man.
We're just keeping it real on this show.
Listen, man. Listen. You've watched all those gangster movies. Where they put the bodies?
In the ground.
In the river.
In the desert.
Well, in the
Well,
desert.
guess
When
what?
they-
There's no
Vegas.
desert here in the South. It's the lake, baby.
You're talking about Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad, Casino.
Oh, Casino, yeah. You just drive outside of Vegas, you'll find nothing but dead bodies out there.
Dead
It's like
bodies.
speed bumps. Boom, boom.
Y'all okay with y'all kids jumping in the lake knowing all that stuff going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, that's fine. All kinds of things.
Builds up
that
their
you know,
immune system.
makes them stronger, Slay.
That's right.
Builds character.
Y'all ruined it for me. Y'all ruined it for me.
Ron Slay with you. Don Davenport, Brett Doherty. It is dark outside, man. I'm affected.
Y'all, it's dark in here now.
Titans 20-17 losers in overtime against Kansas City, man. And Patrick Mahomes did what Patrick Mahomes does, man. They had that thing 17-9, and on 3rd and 17, my man ran for 20.
That was the dagger. You felt it right then watching.
Kind of like Stetson Bennett's touchdown run. Kind of similar deal. Putting his hand on his ear, telling everybody to call in. What was that about? Did somebody steal his phone number or
Yes.
They put his
Did you
phone number
not?
out there.
So it's hilarious. This is like this happens often with
It
Georgia
does.
quarterbacks because I remember I worked with DJ Shockley.
Oh, shock. Yeah.
For a couple of years, and he told the story about when he was quarterback, I think before the SEC. It was either the SEC championship game or it was a game with Kentucky. I can't remember. Very different back then. But his phone number ended up on campus, like being passed around the night before their game. And he said, I cannot even tell you how many phone calls and texts and creative, drunk calls I got from that fan base. Yeah. And so apparently the same thing happened to Stetson Bennett. His cell phone got out there, like 600 texts and calls from Tennessee.
Hey.
So
Happened to Tim
props
Tebow
to
back in the
him.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Tebow did the same thing. He scored a touchdown against LSU and then put his hand up around like he was answering a phone.
So Mr. Babs
Like, call
was talking about this for that game. He was talking about the difference in the deep ball completions. You know, like Hendon Hooker was just a little off on some of those, and Stetson was just money.
Yep.
And that was kind of, the difference as far as the big explosive plays.
Yep.
Yeah, and Hendon Hooker is a great deep ball thrower, so that was kind of out of character there.
Miss Brew on that big one.
But
going
like
on the left side.
if those are hit, how different is the game?
True.
615-737-1045. You want to react to the Titans
Well,
loss
it's easy
also.
to say that now.
Yeah.
Georgia beating Tennessee, and I mean they showed them like, hey man, you want to play at this level? This is what it looks like.
It's big dogs.
And so congrats to Georgia. Also to the I don't know 5 or 6 Astro fans out there other than me. For the Astros getting it done, Jordan with the absolute moon ball to center field for the 3-run homer to get it done, and props to Dusty Baker for getting that World Series title. After the game, Kate Upton walked up on Justin Verlander being interviewed by Fox or FS1. I can't remember if I'd flipped it yet. And so the reporter asked her the Tom Brady question, because he's 38 years old, and so she was like, do you want Verlander to keep playing, or would you prefer him to retire? And she goes, I love watching my husband do what he loves to do. That was her quote.
Mm-hmm.
What a good woman.
Damn, Huck.
What? Yeah. But how many times have I said,
You're going to end up in the
though?
lake.
I say that all the time with Giselle and Brady.
Swimming with
Yeah.
the fishes. That's a saying.
going to the
Ain't no
lake.
fish in the lake. But yeah, that's I'm
Like the train station, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the toll booth.
But see, the Brady Giselle thing, there's like more to it. I think they had an
so, too.
agreement at that point, and he basically said, "Screw the agreement."
And he was
like,
done.
there's a lot.
Verlander ain't walked away and then came back.
Right. And clearly there wasn't a conversation about it.
I talked to somebody down there that's around that place, and they were like, yeah, I mean, divorce is tough, right? Like, you got to figure out the kids and the money and all those things. But ultimately, like, he'll find another supermodel and she'll be with some soccer player or whatever. Like, that'll work itself out. What he's really frustrated with is the losing.
Yeah.
Did you see him at the podium after they won? Completely different dude.
Yep.
He was like, well, that was fun. Had a big smile on his face.
But that's what happens. That's what goes on Earth.
Like, winning cures all.
Yeah, and he hasn't been on Earth. Like, he's been able to reload and not worry about anything else. He's also had a coach that was ready to reload and was going to be able to get a control of guys and be able to go pluck guys and get guys just for that system. If you don't buy in, I don't care how good you are, defensive player of the year, whatever it is, pew, you gone. You know what I'm saying? So he's used to that, and he could just focus on the football. Now he's looking around and it's like, hey, man, we just want a chip, dog. I'm trying to get paid. Oh, I ain't getting paid? I ain't getting no balls? Oh, well, I'm going to sit down. He used to somebody going out the Patriot way.
No
that
matter
ain't the
what.
way. Yeah, that's not it. That's not it. And you know what's funny? That's what's going on here. I don't know if the Patriot way continues to work. I don't know if that's it.
Are you talking about continues to work
at
this
the Tennessee
season?
Titans? Yes,
This season?
and moving forward. Like, at
You're
some
talking about
point,
the mindset of people now is a little
like,
bit different.
Yeah, we going out. Let's do the job. Let's get it done. Like, without results, why am I going to keep going in this way? Why would I keep going about it this way?
Interesting. Let's bring that up with Buck Reising. Joins us next. We'll talk some Titans football as we continue through the Monday edition of 3HL. We'll be right back. Hit us on Twitter at 3HL1045 on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
There she is, Don Davenport. All right, we'll be right back. I want to tell you about my friends at Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. Maybe you had a busy weekend and you've replenished your stockpile and you need to reload. My friends at Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits can help you out. If you go in, you just know what you want to get. You walk in, you get it. You go to the counter. You'll experience a friendly staff, and they'll be able to help you out. But if you want some advice on maybe something new, maybe to branch out your bourbon selection, your wine selection, your craft beer selection, these guys are there to help you. They've got everything you need along with the care and the expertise to point you in the right direction. They have expansive bourbon, wine, craft beer selections. For me, it's tequila season. Maybe you need a cigar. They'll hook you up there as well. There is a chill in the air, which means it is bourbon and cigar season. It also means it's family and gift-giving season. Need a quick gift? Pick up a customized gift basket that is perfect for any cocktail or wine lover. With their wines always changing, don't go empty-handed. You can pick up something fresh and exciting for your next party. Don't forget to let Jason and my friends at Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits help you pick the perfect hand-selected bourbon and cigar pairing to end your night. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood, and online, MarylandFarmsWS.com. 3HL 1045 The Zone. That means Buck Reising joins us. You can hear him weekdays 10 to 1. Buck, what's up? How are you?
I'm great. How's everybody living?
We're great.
We're doing well. If the Titans got behind like 24-0 in the second quarter and Malik Willis was playing quarterback, would you feel confident that they could come back?
24-0?
Yeah, like you literally have to throw it every play.
No, I don't think that would up my confidence level in anything other than I wouldn't have had to stay for overtime and I could have been home at a decent hour.
What about all these comments coming out after the game about, Ed Werder's thing about like Vrabel saying who the hell are we going to throw it to? And then Malik was like, I was hoping somebody get open, so I'd stop running around back here. Like, I mean, it's kind of weird after a 3-point overtime loss to one of the best teams in football.
I mean, is it though? Like Mike is a little surprising. Malik, and I don't know whether Mike would. That looks like something, and I don't know what the nature of the Ed Werder conversation with Mike was. I don't know if it was a production meeting. I don't know. So that one was interesting that it was out there publicly because that is definitely not Mike's style. And Malik, he's young. He'll learn. He's going to if he did not already, get absolutely dragged in team meetings for that because, of course, you cannot say something like that, even if it was completely harmless and just a comment made in passing. And, of course, I mean, surprise, what do you mean?
Spot the light.
That's what's happening.
That's what he's thinking.
I swear to God, when Nick Westbrook-Akina said that to us last night about, nobody was talking about this a couple weeks ago. We were all making plays. Like, I almost dropped my phone. I really did. I could not believe that was what was coming out of his mouth.
So was that a shot at him? Like we were making plays like this when we were making plays 2 weeks ago, that was a different quarterback that was in there too.
Yeah.
You could look at it that way. But listen, Slay, that's what it opens them up to.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like,
yep.
Mm-hmm. That is why that's why Malik is going to be like get told, hey, we don't do that publicly. That's exactly what that conversation then breeds. Now, Westbrook-Akina was obviously did not mean it that way, but just the idea that question is being asked of somebody like me, right? It's the exact thing that they're trying to avoid. But I mean, it's not none of it's a shot. It's a damn cry for help. Because they don't have anybody.
Right.
It's just, I don't ever get like upset about things that happen in games. Not really upset, but I swear to God, when Chris Conley dropped that pass, I was legitimately mad. I was legitimately upset for Malik because I'm like, oh my God, they're doing it. He's doing it, and they've figured out an offensive game plan where they can throw the ball with five completions. Mahomes had 43, and they lost by 3. It's nonsense.
Absolutely right. Let me ask you something, Buck. You are a guy, man, that looks into details of people at times, especially in the sports where I don't know about outside it. But you can read body language, man. What was your takeaway from second half body language of Derrick Henry and also in the locker room?
So I've only just seen the television copy about an hour ago. In the press box, it's impossible for us to from that angle, it's nightmarish. Now, I mean, I can read into what TV showed us, and what TV showed us didn't look like Derek was terribly happy with what was happening or the lack of what was happening with him in the second half of the game. And I think, that is something that everybody could identify with. But I would just caution people generally about projecting what they show in a limited amount of television shots. Don't necessarily project your own feelings onto Derrick Henry, because what that man did, in the locker room, what he did on the field, and then what he did in the locker room afterwards, where we're all, we're trying to talk to Jeff, who's hanging on by a thread, it seems like, both physically and mentally, when, they play 91 defensive snaps and Derrick's making the rounds in the locker room afterwards, shaking the hand of every defensive player, because, I mean, how could you not? They were spectacular. Even down to holding Mahomes and then to a field goal on the overtime in the overtime possession, which is crazy. It's just the whole thing. So long story short, I wouldn't read too much into Derrick.
Okay. All right. Thank you for clarifying that for me.
Buck Reising with us on 3HL. So where are we with this whole Ryan Tannehill thing? Like, how close was he really to playing?
Not close at all.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys talked to people throughout the course of the week, but it sounded like they knew basically, by the time their on-field work week started that he wasn't going to go. And Schefter, I don't know what he's trying to get at. If he's just kind of trying to generally work around the high ankle sprain mention, because it's the first time that anybody has mentioned high ankle sprain specifically. And he didn't call it a high ankle sprain. He just said possible high ankle sprain, which, of course, opens up this entire conversation. We've seen – I wrote about this, I think, either Saturday or Sunday morning. Like, Mac Jones, Baker, they've both had high ankle sprains. Sam Darnold is the only one that had a high ankle sprain of the quarterbacks this year to experience them to do an actual IR stint. They can miss 3 or 4 weeks theoretically and not have to use up an injured reserve spot in order to bring him back. Because again, they only have 8 and now 7 with Elijah Molden. But I mean, he was not close to playing.
Mm-hmm. Buck Reising with us on 3HL, talking about the defense and talking about Big Jeff out there for as many snaps as he was. You actually had a chance to ask him about how he was feeling after the game.
Man, there was like a significant pause there, Buck.
Yeah, I think he's still trying to catch his breath, Dawn. I mean, I tried to talk to Kalu for 30 minutes. He was sucking on an inhaler because they could, they get literally gassed out there. The Jeff thing is bad. And like, he went down late, right? And was, we didn't see it necessarily in the press box last night, but I saw it on the TV copy today where he just slams his fist in the ground because he's got to be miserable. I mean, he's been dealing with this ankle situation himself and just continues to be an absolute nightmare for people.
Yeah.
I know Trey Smith got a couple of good stops on him, which was impressive to see, but for the most part, man, they did it with 4, and they made Pat's life a living hell out there. And he just, he did the Patrick Mahomes thing. When he had to be spectacular, he was absolutely spectacular. And for Jeff and them, even if you're objective about it, like you walk in that locker room, and your heart breaks for him a little bit because they physically could not have done anything else.
Buck Reising with us on 3HL. Catch him 10 to 1 weekdays on 104.5 The Zone. Thanks, Buck. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it, Buckster.
Always a pleasure. Back to bed.
That overtime got him. Overtime and then like a 5 a.m. flight.
He told me earlier that he set an alarm in case he was still sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, Big Jeff. Woo! Makes you wonder if he should sit one out.
Oh, I think somebody said that actually.
Sit one.
He didn't. Slay, didn't you want him to sit this one out?
Yes, indeed.
Slay didn't even want the first string to travel to Kansas City.
I know.
Yeah,
actually, you
why.
started with Houston, and then I was like,
Yeah.
no.
said Houston
no,
mattered
you
too
got to
much.
win that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a division game. That is your road to the playoffs.
And see, that was the thing. I think he made it out of Houston okay, where you were able to do rehab, sit out this week, and get treatment, and then come into this game, and at the end of the play.
Physical game.
Just imagine if he could have played 50 plays.
Yep.
Instead of 91.
That'd be like.
Or 98, however many it was. Like, you don't have that risk, man.
One
Your
game
body
instead
gets
of 2.
tired. Yeah. Like, I don't care how heavily you got it taped.
Yeah.
It's tough, especially you chasing a guy like him, Mahomes.
And that was a chippy. And there were numerous times where Big Jeff was running his butt off to try and go catch somebody.
Yep.
I mean, just running.
Yep. And that
can move for a big guy on a bum ankle.
Yes.
Crazy.
And that's my thing, Babs. When you after all the tough guy, the heart, the effort, it's up there. The energy, all of that, Babsy. At the end of that, who are your Jimmys and Joes to even the game out? Your Jimmys and Joes made plays defensively. You had your Jimmy sitting on the bench in the second half.
King Jimmy.
Like, who was your guy? I kept tweeting it.
As Mike Vrabel said in the locker room after the Houston game, nobody in the NFL has this guy.
No. We didn't either in the second half.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what was crazy. Man, I don't understand. Like, what is wrong? That you cannot make it. This is a 3-point loss. What was the loss to the Bengals? How many points was that? I know it came down like
that
last
was 3 also.
That
right?
was 3 points too.
Yes, tie game.
So when it comes down to, like Coach Mack sat here and said, the moments. It's not about, the schemes and all that. Because when you get good on good, somebody got to make a play. Defense made a play. They were gassed, dog. They held them folks at 3. That's amazing, man. And you go out there, you don't even get a shot at it. Because you ain't got nobody that can make a play. And I said it going into it. Last year, the difference, when those moments needed to be made, AJ had a hell of a game against Kansas City last year.
615-737-1045.
Why you got to bring up old stuff?
Oh, no, because that's the only thing I got to go back to. I'm sorry. But it's like,
they're
what do you
missing. They're missing that wide receiver. And I know that Mike Keith can say that it's, there's a new quarterback and all of that, and that's a part of it, but they are missing that comfort blanket, somebody to make a play. Traylon Burks, they need him back. They need him back, and they need him to do something. Because listen, Robert Woods as a 2 would be great.
Oh, phenomenal. Terrific.
Not your
NWI as a
number
3.
one main guy. Yes.
Kyle
NWI
Phillips
as a
as a 3. Like, all of that's great.
Speaking of Traylon Burks, Mike Vrabel asked if they will activate him from IR this week.
We'll see. We'll see how he's feeling. He has worked extremely hard and to stay in shape and condition, take care of his body, lift mentally. I think this is just the best that he's been from a standpoint of handling a distraction, which is something different and sometimes new for young players. So I will say that whenever he's ready, I'm excited for him to get back out there, and we'll see where that is this week, because he's been in here, he's been on time, he's done everything that we've asked him to do, worked hard. We'll just have to see where he's at physically.
I was about
and
to
physically and without game reps.
And I was about to jump the gun and say, oh, that's what, but he's been through it.
Yeah.
Him going through that in the offseason was, I think, a
eye-opening,
very valuable lesson in that right there. And I think he's got to take heed to it.
So if Ryan Tannehill is not back, and I know it's just Monday, but if he's not back and he wasn't close, and it's Malik's go again on Sunday, can they handle the Broncos with Malik?
It's interesting. In the first half, I'm kind of like Mike Keith on this point. In the first half, he had a different body language to him than he did against Houston. Like, he looked like things were more comfortable, and he was making some throws that were not being caught. And he hit some throws,
yeah.
And I think that Kansas City did a great job adjusting and completely shut everything off. But to your point, though, when Derrick Henry's not out there, then what?
I look comfortable, too. You put me in there with the king.
You start faking handoffs off to him, then, suddenly you've got a cleaner pocket.
Yeah, a little bit different.
So against
And that
Denver,
Broncos defense is good, even though they're, they have their own issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking them up.
They're coming off a bye, too, aren't
they?
Yep,
another team coming off a bye. But the good thing is they got a guy named Nathaniel that's coaching.
Like, literally.
Yeah,
Nathaniel?
Yeah,
and playing quarterback?
And one playing.
Nathaniel? Coming into that.
That's the greatest thing about that.
They are number 2 in the NFL in total defense, Denver.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So, what about run D?
That's the question. Because I with Malik or Tannehill, if you don't
21.
21 run. Oh.
See, I liked what the Titans showed offensively in that first half. I thought, because I will criticize Todd Downing left and right. You guys know that. But I thought that he knew his personnel, did some things that worked well with that personnel, got a little creative, things that I felt like maybe we normally don't see as far as play calling. And I thought I was impressed in that first half.
Yeah,
but
the
then
read option stuff
it
was
went
good.
away. Yeah, I mean, like, who your quarterback is, you know where his strengths are, you know where his weaknesses are, and I thought they played to that.
I thought that's why it was good that I kept tweeting out Tecmo Bowl style. Like, you in Tecmo Bowl, the kids out there listening, you don't know about this. This was on Nintendo. You had like 4 or 5 plays you could pick from. and the person playing you could pick the play too. And if they match up to the play, then they're going to stop you because they're going to go right where you are. But in this case, it doesn't matter. You got Derrick Henry. And we do a better job run blocking than we could ever do pass blocking.
It's like when you have Bo Jackson in that game.
Exactly. Just go. You can zigzag, do whatever you want to do. You're going to score. It's part of it.
615-737.
Keep going with it.
1045. Sue Ann in Nashville. Sue Ann, what's up?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I mean, I feel like Malik did great, and so much improvement. But the difference between the first half and the second half, it's like when halftime comes, they go into the evil demon of the locker room, and when they come out, they've been like bad juju on them, and it's like it's a totally different team.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really understand that, but that's not why I called. Okay, so, I mean, I trust you guys, and does anybody but me notice what Mahomes does with his tongue when he plays with the football getting ready to throw?
That and that mouthpiece.
That is the creepiest thing. And I'm not judging, no judgment, but I'm just saying that when you watch him, it was like, holy crap, like, is it like a tick? What's going on with him? But anyway, it doesn't matter. But I was taken away by watching him and his tongue, and
I've never noticed, but now I feel like I'm never going to unsee it once I notice.
You will never unsee it now.
Brett, you guys, okay, this is my challenge to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You have to notice.
I'm looking now. I think I noticed.
Thank you, Sue Ann.
You have to.
It's like the dead bodies in the lake. You just have to notice.
That's right.
Thank you, Sue Ann.
Okay, bye.
I think she's right, though, because I think I have noticed it. That and that mouthpiece. And then the little finger. I hate the finger twitch that he does.
Yeah.
Like he keep telling, like, come on, give me the play, give me the play. Come on, man, put your hand down. All right, irritates me.
Henry on Twitter at the RHL1045.
Henry?
Y'all don't tell Slay he played basketball near dead bodies at South Stadium Hall. Hell, I used to have classes there where we dissected dead bodies.
There you go.
Huh?
Yeah.
Right next to Thompson.
Dead bodies right next to where you played.
What?
Yeah, they have the body farm at Tennessee. Do you not know about this?
A body farm?
Yeah.
3HL. Yeah. More next. that?
You got to listen. That's my guy, K-Dot.
Still wearing that Tennessee shirt?
That's right, baby.
So am I.
Going to be proud with it, too. Vols in action tonight against Tennessee Tech.
Hey, all credit to Georgia, man. They came in there and they showed Tennessee what that stage was like.
Yep.
Took it to them.
Part of it. The big dogs. Y'all are the big dogs. I didn't think them little bitty dogs with little legs like they could move, but they moved.
I thought about you every time they showed Uga in that doghouse because he never got out.
Nope. I mean, he was deep back there. It was like his eyes were closed. I guess he didn't want to see it either. What they were about to do to him. They did.
And then it started raining, man.
Yeah. Oh, man, that was a beautiful scene, man. The route. See, that's the thing. When you out there getting to it, man, and the elements start to take factor, take play in the game, and that don't even mess with you. It only make you get hyper. That was it. I love that. That's at day, man. Just means more, man. It ain't even nothing to say behind it. It just means more.
That was such an environment, man. And it showed so well on television.
Then you backdoored it with what they did at Death Valley, man. Like, that's, hey, man. Hey, and all I kept saying was, it's night game. Show me something.
A lot of people are blaming Eric Ainge for saying that it's not that loud between the hedges. Like,
I
it's
saw
no big
that
deal.
all over Twitter.
I feel that.
Coming at Eric Ainge.
But guess what? They were coming with it regardless.
Yeah.
They were coming with it regardless.
Oh, for sure. And Eric, from his stand, he went down there and won.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Over and over.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, speaking of it just means more, did you guys see the video of Mike Leach?
Greatest video to hit the internet this weekend.
After Mississippi State blew that lead, Mike Leach went and folded up all of the chairs on the Mississippi State sideline. I'm assuming because he felt like his team did not deserve to sit down. It's legit video of Mike Leach with his state sweatshirt on and his headphones and all of that on, and he's just folding chairs and chunking them on the sideline. Fold it, chunk it. Fold it, chunk it.
If you do it wrong, though, those folding chairs will get you.
Yeah.
Somebody came behind him and started picking up all the chairs.
Mike Leach will give you a little.
Kicked him over.
Mike Leach will give you a little petulant child to the thing.
That was great.
Oh my gosh!
You watching the video right now?
Yes,
that was great.
So great. And he's got Mike Leach only had his play call sheet is on a little note card. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all he works
So
with.
it's wrapped up in his hand, in his right hand, as he's folding up the folding chairs. His play call sheet is wrapped up in his hands.
Yeah,
Fold it, chunk it.
We won't need this.
Oh, Mike Leach.
Fold it, chunk it.
Nobody sits. Not on my watch.
I love him. I'd have asked him about that. What you doing, Coach?
Nobody's sitting down.
See, I like it better when people ask me about Halloween candy and stuff, or what do you think about the French
then they
Revolution?
Get ripped for I could never ask that in a post game interview. You're gonna get ripped for it.
Yeah.
No, but on a sports talk show in the summer, we're
That's
totally
when you
doing
need
that this
it.
year, and
He
we're
needs
going
to
tell
just
him,
come
look,
hang out with us.
We're not going to ask you one football question. I want to know what he thinks about the French Revolution for real.
Oh, he'll tell you.
He'll need a whiteboard.
We got one.
He may draw on it.
Yeah. What do you think's going on at the Body Farm at Tennessee?
That's weird.
How did you not know about that, Slade?
Calls. I don't know. They didn't get out the boom boom room, I guess.
Research.
That's crazy. Was that a class?
Oh, it's anthropology.
It's a degree.
Yeah, Dr. Bass is the biggest anthropologist, not inside. It's biggest name anthropology guy.
African American Studies is what I majored in.
Yeah, I think